There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
Yay! Hello, boys and girls. It is your good pal, Tukey. Has everyone had their source of protein today? I hope you have. Oh, we have such a fantastic show today. This is This Little Piggy, a steel-toe roundtable discussion of everybody's favorite cummy bear, Aaron Imholt. And with me, as always, Patrick Melton from NLO.
Hi.
Carl Hamburger from Who Are These Podcasts?
What up, Tukey?
And Doc from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, now in theaters.
Well, it's great to have you as a guest on today's episode. Tukey.
Shut up, I'm a host. I'm always a host. I stink. But yes, Tukey has had to work lately, and but he is back, and we're better than ever. Supertip.gg/Tukey if you want to interrupt the show and ruin it more than it already is. Oh, what a week. What a week.
Yeah, it's been something.
We started off the week missing the goal.
The sixth perfect week? Is that what you're talking about? It's the sixth perfect week, Tukey.
But how could that be?
The perfect week thing, I don't get that, because like he used to do a streak before, which was every show the number would go up. But now he's divided that number by what? By like 8? Or however many shows he does a week. It's way less impressive to say 5 perfect weeks than it is to say like
Well, it's also not accurate in any way. That's why he had to do that.
Sure, aside.
Right.
That aside. If we're going to live in fantasy land, at least you want the number to be bigger, right?
Also, I was watching a clip of So Thorough Joe Burrow, who's becoming much more active in the clip community. Season opening now that some of these guys are getting a little lazy. And So Thorough Joe Burrow's doing a great job. But he did a Monday clip of Aaron, and Aaron's even losing track. Last week was 5 perfect weeks. This week was 6 perfect weeks. On Monday, Aaron said it was 4 perfect weeks. He's losing track. In that So Thorough Joe Burrow clip from Monday, he's like, guys, we've had 4 perfect weeks. He even forgot it was 5. Like he's humble. Maybe he's so humble. He's subtracting from his own streak.
They did a replay review and realized they actually did miss the goal that first week. Yeah.
Yes.
I had gym class like that, like from 3rd grade to 8th grade. They had these busted phones that used to be, I guess, communications to the office. And my gym teacher would always pick up the phone and go, oh, I have to go to the judges and get a calling on this. And he would just pick up a dead phone and go, it's in or it's out. But yes,
like,
it reminds me of Aaron Imholt very much.
Like Howie Mandel calling up the bank.
Yes,
dealer no
yes,
deal.
it was exactly like that. And then we were all very afraid to pick up that phone because we didn't want to talk to the judges. But guess what? We picked it up. It was a dead phone.
I read a comment this last week. I don't know where it was, but B Smiley in one of the chats said the only way that Aaron can win these imaginary battles is with more imagination.
Right.
that
or with his own money. Like,
right.
If you're allowed to donate, like, why didn't anybody ever think of this? Like, imagine this: rent's due, a bill's due, and you don't have the money to pay for it, and you're like,
right.
Fuck, how am I gonna pay this electric bill? And you're like, I got an idea. What if I just give myself some money? and then pay the
And-
bill. Oh,
and
bill,
you can-
it's all settled. It's like, what just happened? I thought you
And
didn't
you
have
can
money.
give yourself like, as long as you've got more than zero money, like if you've got a cent or something, you could just pay that to yourself over and over again and make
Right.
up whatever
I didn't
number
even
you
think
want.
about that.
There
He
was
could
a-
give himself $10 240 times.
There was a
Sorry.
TikTok scam that happened a few months ago where someone realized, I think it was like with Chase Bank or something, if you wrote yourself a check and deposited it, say $30,000.
Yeah.
There was a split moment of time when that was deposited into your account before it bounced that you could then withdraw that.
Right.
And so people were like getting $30,000 out of ATMs and shit, and like are like, oh wow, I beat the system.
Yeah, there
that's
was a
basically
guy-
what Aaron's doing.
There was a guy in Australia, I think it was famous. Like he ran up millions of dollars because he figured out some like time loophole at night where like the ATMs would do processing and he could like withdraw money and deposit it back and it would like count as double. And he just kept doing this and spending like $1 million. I think eventually the bank was so embarrassed by it, they just forgave it and fixed the loophole. But like, yeah, that's what he's doing. And it's like these people, I don't know if you've ever had a bank error in your favor. I've woken up before and I had like a couple $1,000s in my account that wasn't supposed to be there. Only an idiot is like, I'm gonna go spend this real quick.
Right.
It's like, they're gonna figure it out.
They'll adjust it. Yeah.
They'll unwind it.
We had a couple in New Zealand who woke up with like an extra few million in their accounts. They took that money and flew to Thailand and never came back. They're like, we're done with the country. We're out.
So
I love
speaking of So Thorough Joe Burrow, he had a couple really good videos this week that I want to talk about. But one of them where he proved that Aaron was lying about a PayPal donation.
Right.
Did you see that one? Where he's
Yes.
just like, wow, I got $40 from Robert or whatever it was. And then later on he goes, I haven't got anything from PayPal today. Oops.
Yeah. It's
We doing this very early on. He accidentally shared his PayPal screen after he'd been declaring all these PayPal donations, and it literally said no donations in the past 28 days or something. Like the screen he had up,
Oh, no.
it's like it was a
That
zero.
can't be true.
Yeah, this was like back in 2023, but he
Yeah, 2
actually
years
did
ago.
this. And it was insane because it's like, hold on, every day you say you're getting PayPals, and there were no filters on. I mean, the whole screen was shared, so it wasn't like he was filtering it out somewhere. It was like there's no activity on this account.
But wouldn't he be
Mention-
extra, like, anxiety ridden if he was making up these PayPals constantly? 'Cause
Does he seem anxiety ridden too, Keith?
Yeah, but I mean, he wouldn't be telling us all that to suck his dick because we hit the goal again. I mean, we all saw on Monday they missed by 115,
Right.
but then by the time the night show came, it was another perfect week because the Toe Boys stepped up, which is very odd to me that Aaron has a group of men, I guess, that he goes to and is like, "Oh, boys, we didn't do it today. Can I get a loan?"
Yeah.
Like, are these loans? Like, are these loan sharks? These Toe Boys, or they just
the
feel
Toe Boys
bad?
watch the show, so they're the same people that didn't donate
Wait,
earlier.
they
in
watch the
day.
morning show or the evening show?
Yeah, which audience are we
Movie,
talking
which
about?
one?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Where the Toe-
the
where the
Toe
Toe
Boys
Boys
watch
at?
everything. Like they are the diehard.
Weird.
They'd be the diehard ones, right? You'd want to.
Maybe all of his audience are like gig workers. Maybe they're like Uber drivers or Amazon Flex drivers, and so in the morning they're not sure what kind of day they're gonna have,
Right.
so they're more reluctant to hand over cash. And then at the end of the day, they're like, "Wow, I hit like 3 Grubhub bonuses today." You know how they give little perks. So maybe at the end of the day, they're more happy to they're like, "Hey, man, I made $68 today. I can kick over 10 of that to the toe." Like Kevin Brennan used to demand people kick up to the boss,
You don't think these Grubhub workers are like, after they get a tip, they're like, "Suck my dick. Aaron gets to feed his kids tonight." Like, do they?
He mentioned on the show yesterday morning, he was talking about he really wanted to play this Eric Church song. So he says, I don't care about monetization on this video. I'm just
Yes.
gonna play the song. And then he said something about how he's almost in the black because they've been having 6 perfect weeks in a row. So he's really close to breaking even. And so he can afford to miss some monetization.
This is a quarterly thing because if you remember on New Year's Eve, he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, if we hit the goal today,
Right.
and only today, we'll be in the black for 2024." And then he was doing this other thing this week where he was talking about like, we had some lean years, 2022, 2023. He didn't bring up 2024 at all, but that was the year he was eating egg sandwiches, saying if I'm going down with the ship, I'm going to enjoy this tasty. It reminded me of that cutaway in Happy Gilmore where he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't enjoy this tasty. And it just cuts to the Subway ad where he's doing the commercial. Like that was him. He was panicking so much. He was like, I'm going to eat an egg sandwich.
A couple morning shows, but we still had a perfect week because the night show went over. If we ever miss a perfect week, it will get changed to months and we'll figure it out from there.
Probably.
There you go.
It's like, if a sports team scores more goals or whatever in the next game, they could like take some of those and apply them to the previous game. And they're like, we actually won that one.
Can they really do that?
2 touchdowns from last week, and we'll move them over to this week.
We've had a perfect season, guys.
We've never lost.
No, it's insane. And another thing he did this week was start talking about April again. That was very interesting.
Tiny titties. He was making fun of her tiny titties.
Tiny titties.
He was reading chats that also made. He does this thing where he's like, yeah, I mean, can you believe I'm a boob guy and I ended up marrying like this tiny titty bitch? And it's like, when she was there, you were rubbing on her constantly and telling the audience like you wish you could get somebody like this. And now all of a sudden her pussy smells. She's a drug addict. She's a lying whore. Her tits are too small. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, but this coincided with you hinting at that by April, you hope to have someone's permission to share something. That's a line you said last week. And that coincided with him starting to go in on April again because he thinks that's who the information's about.
Yeah, so is what's happening, but both Nick and Aaron are a little hamstrung by the court process. So like as soon as all this gets settled for both of them, are they both kind of just open the floodgates and talk mad shit?
I wish. I don't think Nick is going to. Aaron might. I don't think Nick's going to.
Oh,
This
Aaron,
was my
100%.
speculation. Aaron was taking a victory lap because I said, like it does look like Aaron is owning Nick. It does look like somehow, and I'm not saying this is what's going on, but it looks like Aaron's gotten into Nick's head and Nick's afraid to stream. That is what it seems like. And Aaron's saying that like he's done. He can't do it anymore. He can't go live. He's afraid. Remember how he's too sad and depressed to stream? Yep. And the longer that goes on, the longer it does seem the case. It's like,
no, the reason why it's going on this long is because he's coming back for HackaMania, baby. HackaMania.com. Promo code WATP.
Oh God, you got your hack house. Don't even pretend to promote this event. We know where your loyalty lies. Hack House.
Dabblecon.live, baby. Dabble House.
Dabble House. Sorry.
Next month.
I think
like that better.
We're doing that. We're doing Hack House.
Let's do that.
One of the big problems I think Nick has in his communication about this is that he can't decide whether he's in or out with regards to this. Sometimes he just wants to move on. Other times,
just like him in April,
right? And out or on, right? So he can't decide between those. So he flip flops between like not talking about something to like talking in great detail. But I think there's like a happy medium if he let out like a little bit of information and then just hung up the phone, like keep it to 3 sentences, keep every little story to 3 sentences and drip feed them once a week. And that
he's on other shows. I agree. But do you know how much he would make if he just went live and answered questions and like right. He's got stories and he can say stuff, but I think he's waiting on his sentencing, until you're sentenced, until it's a shut book. You probably don't want to rock the boat, I imagine.
Right.
And
you don't want to
except Aaron's too prideful. He will go on and talk about a deal in the works and fucking like Aaron is a different animal.
But what if it's more complex than that? What if Nick sexually transferred his live streaming powers to Aaron in that load that Aaron ingested? And like Nick lost his mojo. He can't do it anymore.
Well, most of it. I think most of it ended up in April, so she's the real talent now.
Yay! What her nipples
but she's retired.
She should make a comeback. If she did a live stream, there would be 10,000 people.
I think it was more of a come front, Carl.
Right.
Come chest.
Right.
Yes, please, Aaron or April, sit down with one of us, like Barbara Walters, and please open up about your survival. We all know that you got out of that situation, and we were calling this forever. We said that you were trapped in that house, forced to live stream 8 hours a day. No one deserves that kind of punishment. And we are happy you got out. So, April, we would love to talk to you. Or Chad would love to talk to you. Chad says it all the time, too.
Well, speaking of talking about a plea deal before it's ready.
You want to get into that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should
Well, are we done dotting I's and crossing T's yet? What's going on with this?
Covering T's.
Insane. He said, yeah, we're just, we've got the finer details all worked out. There's just some things that are above my pay grade that need to be worked out.
That was last week he said that. What is going on with this
It's like,
thing?
what? Have they spelled your name correctly, but you don't know if you're going to jail? Like, what are you talking about?
And he said last week, like, he was on the phone for hours, pacing back and forth with his family, talking about this. It's like, hours?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He said he's talking to 3 companies. The timeline was 2 of the companies were supposed to get back to him in the fall. Then it turned to winter, then spring, or now probably the spring, he said, which we're in.
And again, I think you're not. He talked about this in the spring, summer of 2023.
Oh, yes, of course. I know, but
Like-
we're just
like,
repeating the pattern.
This is 2.5 years later of
It's
I'm
not
about to be
happening.
back on radio, motherfuckers. I'm about to be back on radio. I don't know if you want to. We're doing this early. Are we gonna?
This is why I don't discuss my Netflix deal. I think it would be kind of embarrassing if it were to fall through. You know,
Right.
obviously all the paperwork is signed and we're already halfway through shooting. But if I just kept talking about Netflix over and over again, then it did come to fruition. You guys would cloud me for that.
And he said the third company depends on when an old man dies, or
Right.
something like that. So
Yeah.
3 companies are fighting over the rights. for our
I got
company
news
there.
for Aaron. When that old guy dies, they're going to grab a different show from a different market and syndicate it, or
Right.
just put AI on their airwaves.
Yeah, pay the price to get, if you want a shock jock, just get Anthony Cumia on there. Like, pay that AM station for it.
Yeah, syndication of something you don't have to manage at all, that you can just pipe onto your airwaves, is always going to be cheaper than like adding someone to payroll, taking on the implied risk of bringing in this local guy who's notoriously had trouble in the market. Like, I don't, in a million ways, there's a million shows that they could syndicate with far less trouble than
You just reminded me, you guys did a brilliant thing this week, Patrick, where you were playing clips of of Aaron on the radio. I guess he's been posting this stuff on his Facebook or something. So it's just a
goofing.
yeah,
Old Boot goofing.
it's just a single shot on Aaron when he was hosting a radio show. I can't believe how boring he was on the radio. This is the shock jock that everyone was tuned in for. Talking about his drive into work.
it's
Yeah,
the
but it was
same
snowing.
minutia. He was showing his deodorant and showing his toothbrush. It's like the same little stupid stuff that he did. Like, guys, I cleaned out my garage this weekend, huh?
Yeah, right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, he keeps these are the hand-picked, these are cherry-picked episodes he's putting up saying this is my best work from when I was on the radio, and this is what I hope to get back to one day.
Guys,
And
I
it's-
think I'm getting a hot and ready for lunch. I found a coupon in the parking lot on the floor. Very exciting. Another win for the toe. All right, I guess before we learn about Moody's new best friend, let me play a couple of super chats, super tips, I should say.
I think
This is-
we gotta save the bombshell for later in the show. I don't think we need to get into that right now.
okay, well, Moody's
All right.
very excited to get into it.
I know,
Okay,
but he's new at this.
I'll
Dab-
stop sharing. I'll wait.
Dabbler Network, thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. Billy Vegas, $2 at sit
Wait,
down.
did you just pay yourself?
Yes!
Isn't that what we're just making fun of Aaron
No.
for doing it? Now you're doing it?
No, I have a feeling. Yes. No, shut up, Carl. I'm going to pretend like Joey Catalano made that channel. I think that might have been the Catalano
Sure.
crime family. They're making new channels in
Sure,
my
it's
name.
Jake Hudson. Yeah.
Billy Vegas, $2 at sit down Zuma. Get a job and stop crying. Was Chad in here earlier? This was from an hour ago. Chad
Oh,
was
the
on Twitter.
puppet.
Chad
Yeah,
was
the
like,
puppet.
if you really think this is a hobby, why don't you not take super chats and memberships and super tips? Why don't you not make money at it and be successful?
Try doing it by yourself.
Right.
Why you got to just do it with your friends agreeing with you?
We talked to management, Chad. They declined our request, so we are still doing supertip.gg/Tukey if you want to interrupt the show.
Carl,
We need the
you're
goal.
a lollipop in a boxing ring, sweet, spineless, and just waiting to get licked. Even SHIT puts up more resistance.
That's true.
Congrats, Moody. I no longer want to insult you. I have that mouth-breathing knicker. JT, the bully now.
That's fantastic. So JW does not hate you anymore, Moody. That is progress.
It's really nice.
It's fantastic. Beloved chatter, $3. Eventually, he'll only start the show on retainer.
Yes. Guys, it costs.
Here come the steel-toe son. I heard it from a confident who heard it from a confidant. They're definitely on their way. There's one with this idea. Something about a cum-eating grifter. Nose hairs inflatus. Here they come here. Come. The bastard, I mean my son Louis. Fucker can't catch a football.
Little Primus action going on today. I'm loving it.
I have a clip of that.
Oh, no. Do you have it right now?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me find. I switched tabs, and Moody can attest. I have.
But yeah,
too
Moody,
many
what
tabs.
say you? When will Aaron start the show on retainer? When are we getting to that point?
I can't guess what the next level of this shell game is going to be. He just keeps changing things up, but it stays the same. It's how differently can he say, "Pay me money for this show"? It's just sometimes he puts it before, sometimes he puts it after. It's just the money isn't real. I don't know anymore.
Well, I've
I'll be
always
right
said
back,
that.
Patrick.
Okay, the less money he makes, the longer Aaron M. Holt will stream, which is as opposed to Chad this week. And I know Carl likes it when we get into Chad on the show, but Chad did a like a crazy stream recently in the past week where he's like, if you guys don't start giving me more money, I don't need this. I don't need.
I heard about. I haven't seen this. I heard about it from multiple people have been telling me about it. I was at Hughesy's show yesterday. They were talking about this.
It was a breakdown, and it's like I thought Chad was doing pretty well. You know, he does get 200 to 400 real viewers on his show now. It seems like, but yeah, this was a breakdown where he was just like, if you guys don't start giving, like, I don't need this podcast world. I'm a stand-up. It's like I love how he plays both of these, depending on where he is in his sparse calendar of comedy events. If he's got a lot of comedy going on, or Nick Swartzen's throwing him a couple dates, or he's got a Boca Black Box gig, or he's down in McCurdy's, whatever it is, whichever strip mall will have him this week.
He's going to Denver. This is this big gig he's been talking about for months. Some comedy club in Denver. He's featuring.
By the way, to open, he's not featuring.
Oh, he's opening.
No, yeah, he's hosting. He's flying to Denver to host.
Don't they just get they usually get local people to do that?
No, they have a local feature that's way better.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
So, like, yeah, I it's fascinating to me that's how Chad, like, when he's got stand up to lead, he's got two crutches, and when he's not doing stand up, he's podcasting every day, and when he's got stand up gigs, he's like, "Fuck you, podcasters! I don't need this shit.
I'm taking the week off. I don't need this."
Yeah,
Gino did the same thing, right? When he was telling people he doesn't need to be there, he's given them however many years of entertainment, and that they need to pay him, otherwise he's out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The ultimatum always works really good with your audience, so it's a way to gain trust.
Yeah, we do have a bombshell today. We have an exclusive. It is worth it. We're not fucking with you. It's real and it's spectacular.
Moody brought something other than a chart today. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it's great. And we are going to hold that, though, because this show is about the goal. And Bedabbler never really hosts the show. So if you guys could fork over a little extra today, help us hit that goal, give it to Tukey. You know, he deserves it. He never gets. Carl and I are bullies. We mostly take over this program back and forth, but we've decided to throw him
because we know how to host a show on our channel.
Yeah, look, he's been
also, we want to help out our buddy.
He needs to quit his job. Like, he needs enough money to quit his job so that he spent it all on a Tesla. That was his fault. Like, he shouldn't have done that.
And speeding tickets is where he's spending all his money.
Speeding tickets for the Tesla. Yeah. Some guys don't know how to
Should we turn this into bashing Rocco? Could that just be the show now?
This little puppet?
What would this fucker be without a puppet? Who would give a shit?
Okay, I have this, and luckily I'm an admin on his channel, so I can control the whole situation over here.
Beautiful.
This is a clip of Aaron M. Holt accidentally calling his son a little bastard.
Oh boy.
And catching himself. So now we have nicknames for two of the three children: Oops Baby, Little Bastard, and Charlotte.
Happy birthday, Charlotte, by the way.
Or the gardener. Is it her birthday?
It
Yesterday
was. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
She got
Okay,
she got some new headphones.
We shouldn't know that.
I know shit. That's why I'm saying it. I'm not interested
I
in
don't
it.
get mad. You're
Anyway,
talking
no.
about my daughter. It's like, what did we do? Repeat what you said? This is Aaron Imholt. I couldn't believe this when I heard it. This is Real Media Player. He's back to doing his steel toe only goals videos, which are fantastic. They're anywhere from an hour to an hour and 20 minutes long, and they're only clips of him talking about the goal.
It's
So,
a
like,
quarter of the show.
It's insane.
This was an hour and 16 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Just from the 19th of March.
So this is Aaron. I couldn't believe this when I heard it. I was just listening to it moments before I went live, and I was like, did he just say the little bastard? Which again, when a father abandons his children and they've grown to know another man as their real daddy their entire life, this is not a great thing to say about your kids. First of all, it's all in the context of him being too weak to play catch, which I also thought was a weird thing to bring up on air.
Yeah.
But this is the context of the clip.
You guys are like my son. You tell him something sarcastic, and his big line we always make fun of him for. His line is, "Wait, actually?"
So what he's saying here, he's talking about a joke. His kid doesn't get jokes, apparently. You know, I know
Neither
some
does
of these
that
people.
kid's dad.
Yes, like father, like if you ever, this is a paternity test as far as I'm concerned. but like, I have people that I know that are like this. Every time I make a joke, they go like, "Hold on, what?" And you and
Moody's sitting right here, Patrick.
No, literally, if you say to them like, "I was kidding," they go, "Oh, ha 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 ha." It's like, hold on, you got it because I said it was a joke? That's when you got it? Like, that's insane.
Or maybe he built this up over time because he's like, guess what, little Louis? Your dad hit the goal again today. And he's like, wait, actually?
yeah. Or did you pay it? How did it work?
Good joke, Dad. Good stuff.
I wonder if he does this on Christmas. Like, I'm gonna get you a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. And then when he doesn't, he's just like, just get it for yourself. That's how I do it. Just get your own present for you and then say that someone else gave it to you and count it as a win.
Hey, look at Louie. You have a new forever mommy.
Yeah, I got you there.
Actually, we were both
actually
stumbling over each other to get there.
It's going to become such a frequent occurrence that his kids are going to be like, we haven't done a proposal in a while. When are we going to be proposing to a woman? By the time Louie's old enough to get married, if a woman will ever take on a slow like that, he's going to have so much practice proposing. He's not going to be nervous at all. It's going to be great. All right, here's Aaron.
That's his big thing. You'll tell him something. You're like, "Oh yeah, bud," and he'll say something. You don't think it's gonna happen. You're like, "Oh yeah," and pigs are about to fly out of the sky, and he'll go, "Wait, actually?"
They just couldn't believe that somebody would do all that running for no particular reason.
Why are you doing this?
I just felt like running. I just felt like running.
No, bud, not wait, actually.
So basically, he's the dad from Liar Liar, where he's like, I'm going to be at your birthday party. Wait, really? Wait, actually?
Not going to come out of the sky. Dude, he's so funny. We went to the park yesterday.
He's funny. Get ready for how funny his kid is.
I'm throwing him the football, and I'm throwing nice tight spirals. I'm dropping the goddamn thing in a bucket. I'm hit.
By the way, how could it be any other way? I'm throwing perfect spirals. I'm hitting the target down the field. Like I know it wasn't me because I'm perfect.
I'm right in stride, looking good. Every time he drops the ball, every time he doesn't catch it, he looks at me. He goes, "Hey, Dad, gentle. You're throwing it too hard." I'm like, Jesus Christ. Every time it hits his hands and he drops it, he goes, Dad, did you hear how loud that smack was? Gentle. Any little best. He how loud that smack was? Gentle. Any little best. He smack was? Gentle. Any little best.
Little bastard.
I It's a term of endearment. I'm not going to beat him up for this one too much.
It's just on the nose. Is it not?
I just think it's funny that like his big brag here is he throws the football real hard.
Right. And
It's
he's
like, dude, you're playing catch with
And
your
his-
kid.
And
when
his
his-
8-year-old son can't catch perfect spiral.
Yeah.
and when his kid is communicating his sensory needs, this father is like, fuck this kid.
Right. Yeah, and then he has to go on air and talk about what a pussy he is.
Yeah. He's like,
He's calling his kid a pussy. That's way worse than saying
Yeah, it's like,
bastard.
this is too hard. It hurts my hand. It's like, no,
He
fuck
is
you,
the-
little bastard.
He's the kind of guy who would bruise his own kid's hand or April's throat just to prove how strong he is. He's like, look at those bruises. You think a regular guy could have left those marks on a lady? Yeah, I'm surprised he's not bragging about going to like open tryouts for the Vikings or anything. Like I would, but it interferes with the evening show.
I'll
You
probably
know.
just coach. They'll probably just want me to, be a
Right.
quarterback coach.
As soon as I get my safe sport clearance, which any day now, for that 48 hours is
God,
gonna be
that
a-
went away too. The things that he used to talk about nonstop that just go away.
All
He's
that
like,
for
all-
a drop of blood.
all
We are
drop of blood. It's
almost,
like you're still gushing. You're still that wound hasn't been closed yet. You're still
we're almost
hemorrhaging.
2 months. We're 2 months into the 48 hours
Yep.
that he said that this would be over by.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't start training. Because that would have been a huge waste of time if I had started training for this match we have in Vegas.
By the way, so now it seems like I'm glad you brought that up. So now it seems like Nick's court stuff, Aaron's court stuff, this will all be resolved by the time HackaMania, May 9th through 11th, promo code Tukey, to save 10%. This will all be kind of like done. I was talking to Nick and he was bragging, he's like, look, Aaron's just at his plea phase, and I'm at my sentencing phase. So once again, Nick gets to finish first. I thought was pretty good. But so technically, since the Gmail hacking thing it seems to be fizzling out. And by the way, all that for a drop of blood, Aaron? All that for a drop of blood? That's how you use that. So you
Wasn't
did
even
nothing.
though. Like,
No,
there was no
nothing.
bleeding.
No, he just wasted a bunch of resource. How many times do you think he went down to the police station and talked to lawyers and family members about the Gmail hacking? That never happened. But
I mean, he said that he did it. He was talking about it as if it was a noble thing to do, to go rant on the police.
Not just that, but then the suppression order that he wanted to put on to Patrick for the kids, to not mention the kids as well. Nothing's come of that.
hold on. Because Tukey has decided to go for a swim or a nap in the middle of today's show, we do have a problem. So he
he's out in the hot tub, isn't he?
well, people are
Fucking loves
sending
that
in
hot tub.
people are sending instant super tips in, and I see him playing. So I gotta bring this up. And because I know the guys who run it, I can actually play them. So
Okay, good.
I don't want people to be giving money and them not getting played. So somebody paid to have this. Oh, it's Ricada. This is actually Ricada.
Dude, someone tell Tukey his camera's on. Could you imagine if we
Yeah.
just see Tukey going down to his mom or something?
This
Didn't
just-
realize.
This just
looks
came in
like-
from Nick. Hold on.
Nick
hold on.
really needs to stop thinking about me. When I woke up every morning, I read his Kiwi Farms thread and found out he is still thinking about me.
It's hilarious. Yep.
That just makes it look like we were interviewing Aaron and he's gone. He's left. He's left the studio.
Right. If you're just joining us,
Right.
Aaron has run away from us.
He's got a phone call. No, but so what I'm saying is, if all this legal stuff is going to be resolved, why can't the boxing match go on now? Other than the fact that Aaron's not allowed.
He's
Like,
not
we
allowed
could
to
all-
box.
We could all get cleared, I guess.
That's
But-
what I'm saying. Like, you guys should get the USA boxing licensing and be more licensed to box than Aaron is. This is your window of time to shine.
I mean, I don't need to be on radio to be more qualified to do radio than Aaron is. That's already a thing. So like,
Yeah, we can just say that we haven't.
yeah, but I love that was his excuse. Like, dude, I told my lawyer I was going to do this boxing thing, and he's like, dude, you open investigation with two of these guys. You can't be boxing them in an exhibition match if you are suing them for going into your Gmail or whatever. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. It turns out this might all be a closed case by then. This would have never mattered if he like you said, if he would have just accepted the invitation or said no thanks. Or he would have said, okay, contingent on all this legal stuff being done, maybe, because then he'd have an excuse last minute.
If he
it
just said,
wasn't
go
done-
fuck yourself, like that would have been a valid response for someone he claims is harassing his children.
Correct. But but instead he had to show all the bravado. And he also was having another flight of fantasy this week about slapping me or something. He's like, he looks at the camera and he does this, I'd slap you and you just walk away. You wouldn't do anything. It's like, what's wrong with your head where this is all you keep going to is like, I could do violence. I could do violence on you, and then you wouldn't do anything.
You'd
and then
cry
he
if
literally
I smacked you in
brushes
the
his
mouth.
hands like we got in a fight and he beat me. He's like, "Ah."
It's a very emotional response when you want to retaliate with physical violence.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone's like, you're making him
Especially
feel
when
or
your
something.
career is talking into a microphone. Like he talks for a living, but he can't orate his way out of an altercation.
Another thing that happened, I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch this morning, Rumble Friday.
I did not. What happened on Rumble Friday?
Since
today?
I'm running the show, I'll help you out with this. But first of all, let me just show something. This is not going well for Aaron M. Holt. Let me show you some numbers. This is rough. You go to live. His evening show, his last evening show, has 1.3 thousand views, and that's it says a day ago, but that was Wednesday night.
Right.
So we're a day and a half at least. 1.3 thousand, 2.5 thousand yesterday morning.
Okay, but add in the kick numbers. Let's be fair.
Fair enough. Sometimes he does that. Sometimes he literally goes. Sometimes he goes like, I didn't even add in Facebook or
Right.
and it's like it's literally 2.
Nothing.
It's literally 2.
Yeah.
But this is 450 views this morning. This was so nobody saw this morning.
No.
Oh my god! So he's back to Rumble Studio. He's trying this whole thing because the
Okay.
ads will help.
Yeah.
This is worth just watch. I mean, this is unreal pro broadcasting. Sit back.
Good start.
Okay, so I'll skip through the song. Still no picture. Run dun 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 dun.
It's not Rumble. It's me. It's me. Hold on.
Jeez.
Hold on.
I love that too. Like, guys, it's not Rumble. Don't email them. It's me.
Right.
Don't contact the
I was
internet.
just about to fire off a really angry tweet, but okay. I'll hold off.
He still has that noise suppression on.
Oh
Is that
wait.
what that is? Is that why it's doing that?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
He also has video suppression on.
We're gonna get there.
Comedy
the
suppression.
echo.
If I turn this all the way down, there's no echo. You see that? So I'm getting feedback from Rumble Studio. You know I can do this, right? Hold on a minute. I got an idea. Can we mute tab? No. Wait, mute site.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
Hold on a minute. I
Retard
might have
alert,
done it.
class.
This happened last time. The same thing happened
No,
last
it's
time.
actually worse. This time there's no video. He had video last time. So he's actually gone backward.
There we go, baby. I think I did it.
And I know what you're thinking. Any minute now, he's going to realize he has no video. Minutes. Minutes.
That I think I did it had the same energy as like that
my
the George Bush with the mission accomplished behind him.
Yes.
I think I done did it.
Right.
Welcome to the program. It's the Steel Toe Morning Show.
a new low.
We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. Having ourselves a blast. Let me get the
We're having a blast. Are you guys having a blast? I'm having a blast.
YouTube chat up here. I think I may have done it, boys and girls. No, that's YouTube. Don't worry about it. We're good here. Pop out chat. Show us tab.
This This is the same stuff that he would say when he was on those old radio shows. So the ones he posted from 2019 when he was on WHMH.
Open
He'd say,
Facebook.
right.
Get our first
Da-da-da.
topic. We are talking about this. Come by and say hi. Post. All right.
But this
It's
is
like he has to read everything he's clicking on or typing.
But this is like a great visualizer of what a radio audience will experience when Aaron goes back on radio, because we can't see him anymore. Usually there's like stuff in the background or his hairline that we can zoom in on. Here, there's nothing. And so every bit of silence, every technical hiccup, or what he says is really the only thing he's got to shine.
Well, I don't know what you mean by technical hiccup. This is probably all on. There's some purpose to this,
Right.
not having your camera on, I'm sure. Let's see.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. We've got ourselves a show. The only thing is, why can't I got to get to my fucking YouTube live stream thing.
That's the only
Listen to
thing.
that audio. The audio is insanely bad.
That I can end it when I need to.
Why is this still up?
Huh?
Why do you leave this up? It's a disaster.
It's his show.
Do you think he watches? He doesn't watch his shows
That
back,
day.
Carl. Like,
But he only
No.
does the YouTube on Fridays to tell everyone to go to Rumbles. It's only 11 minutes long. Just take it down. It's a disaster. What are you doing?
Well, what we know about him is he recently replaced his hard drive with a 500 gigabyte hard drive, which is all the space. As Bill Gates said, no one will ever need more
Right.
space than that. But like, I realized, because we've been it's been in the Dabbleverse going around a little bit about E-Rock possessing the archives from Opie and Anthony.
Right.
He's got him in a safe room and a panic room in his house and a vacuum seal. I love that he's like, I got hard drives in an airtight container. It's like hard drives are an airtight container. You don't need to do that. But either way,
that
he's
changes
making the
though.
same. Sorry, go ahead.
If he's got SSDs, those will be
They're
lost
definitely
over
not
time.
SSDs.
Right. Like if it's the magnetic hard drives, they're fine, but they might rust. But the SSDs are not
Externally, but there's really no reason to keep him in it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the point is, Aaron's the same guy where he's got years and years and years of these broadcasts, and he does not possess a copy of them.
Right.
Like I know he doesn't. I've been doing this for 20 years in June, and I have every one of my shows, audio and video, anything we ever did.
No one told me there was going to be boasting.
But it takes. I have two NAS systems, two multi-hard drive servers to store all this in case there's failures, whatever. Like, it is costly. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to implement a system like that to back your stuff up. He can't take it down because then it will not exist anywhere. There's nowhere he's saving these shows. He's going to have the same problem. He's going to have the same problem as O&A. If he loses his YouTube channel, those shows are fucking gone.
The same
Like,
thing
he
happened to
doesn't have
Cardiff.
them.
Like he had to negotiate with YouTube
I'm
to get all his stuff back.
I'm sure Doom and Stalin and all these guys probably have him backed up more than him. But
That's true.
That's why you can't take him down.
God damn you. Go to just my part. I want to go to the part that I do. Dude, I'm so fucking good at this. You have no idea.
He doesn't know his video's not up, but he's doing a victory. He always does this. Victory laps about safe sport, victory laps about court, victory
his
laps
plea
about
deal.
divorce. It's like, yeah, exactly. But it's like you're in the process of fucking it up right now. You're not so good at this.
He's doing victory laps about his relationship with SP right now. He's talking about
There's a lot of
she's the
marriage
best
talk
woman.
the past month. There's a lot of marriage talk.
You have no idea.
He got drunk. No, we didn't. I don't think we talked about this, but he got drunk and texted her that he was wanting to have
Wants
another
to have
kid
a
with
baby.
her.
Jesus.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
what
know
he
if you
thinks
saw
about when
that.
he's drunk?
Yeah, he's like, I want to have a baby with you.
Oh,
Texted her
God.
that.
Right.
Gross.
Bring a fourth Imholt to the world.
Right. Like her
Maybe-
43-year-old ass is capable.
Maybe
Guys, the goal is now $472.
Right.
Every
I'm
morning.
sorry, we have a baby on the way. Is that my fault?
maybe this baby will do something notable to bring the Imholt name into good
Yes.
reputation.
I
on
need a son that
Google.
can catch a ball.
If you actually, if you just Google Imholt, like go into like an incognito window so it doesn't have your previous searches or anything, search Imholt and see what comes up. He's not only ruined his name, but his entire family's name.
Yeah, the surname is ruined for life. If you just Google Imholt, his mugshot comes up and all the articles about
revenge porn, how he abused the other broadcaster. It's all there.
Mooney, why do you keep interrupting Rumble Friday? You don't want him to hit the goal? Why do you keep interrupting this?
Sorry.
Are you seething about him being so good at this that you can't take it?
It fills me up with seething energy because we're not hitting the goal. We're not hitting the goal for Tukey, and I'm seeing him hit the goal, and it just comes out like this.
I was wondering what was filling you up.
Live, manage, boom. There we go. Now we've got it. Now we're good.
Nope.
Welcome to the show. Let me just move it around. I'll find it here. There we go. And we're good.
We're good.
Yahtzee. They're saying no video on Rumble. Fuck that noise.
Fuck that noise.
I'm right there. Show me.
Who's he talking to?
Can
Rumble,
I point
me.
something out? We've gotten to a point now where if he's putting this out and this is what his effort is like trying to figure out the tech side on the fly while he's doing his show, maybe your show needs to be a little more special. I think that Aaron is suffering from this thing that KB is suffering from, that a lot of these guys are. They're just overexposed. Like, make your show special. It's like, oh my gosh, Aaron's on? Cool. Instead, it's just him going through his tech problems.
This sounds like cope, Carl. Like,
okay, fair enough.
Look. We've all been there. Like, you're leaving your current job. You have another job lined up.
Right. Good point.
So you're going to coast a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you're phoning in. It's like you put your 2 weeks in.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you really try? It's why a lot of
just
companies
checked out.
go,
Yeah, right.
Like a lot of companies go like, don't bother coming in the 2 weeks because you're not going to really give it your all. So that's, he's got 3 radio companies contending for his broadcasting prowess,
as we know.
And so, why would he need to try hard? That you're again, and this feels like you not being able to take the L is what it feels like to me.
Fair enough.
That's why he needs to turn his mic up so loud.
Yes.
Honestly, if he went away tomorrow, Patrick, you could do his show. You've studied him so intensely. You know exactly how he'd react to
everything. Beg for less.
I made an AI. This is solved. The Steel Toe Morning Show is a solved problem as far as AI is concerned.
Right. Any chatbot that just scrolls payment links could do his show. That's pretty much all right, let's see when he figures it out, how it works out.
Show the fucking thing. There. Show my goddamn. It's right fucking. It's
5 minutes of this, by the way.
What? Go put the thing in the thing. Why won't you okay, you
okay. So when it does come on, it's not even right. And now he's got it. Let's see.
Go away. There. Beautiful. Did that do it? Are we good now? Wait a minute. Which one's gonna be? There we are.
Oh fuck. You know what I just realized? In his mind, this is show content. So when he doesn't hit the goal, he's humiliated and he beats himself up and he doesn't sleep and it's a whole thing. But when he puts out the worst broadcast possible, Amateur Hour, he goes, ha, what a great show I did today.
Unless it's the last 5 minutes and he's like, I thought we did it. Maybe we didn't do it good.
That's true. Yeah, if he doesn't hit the goal, he'd be like, whoa, is it because my camera wasn't on?
Yeah, this guy has definitely been watching Patrick's show and is now stealing his bits.
Yeah, my tech problems. Look, I don't know if you ever heard of this donator? Hinty Groro? Hinty Groro.
Isn't that Hinty Gecko? That's Hinty Gecko.
It's Flinty.
Flinty Gecko. Wow.
But it says Pintigroro. He can't make K's.
It's
All his
150
Ks look
well
like
spent.
sloppy capital R. By the way, he has a giant capital R.
Figured it out. Welcome to the Steel Toe Morning Show. I'm me.
I'm me.
And
This,
I think
this board right now looks like, you know, when AI about a year ago, when generative AI couldn't quite work out how to do
spelling
writing.
and yeah.
This is,
You're right.
This is what that looks like.
Yes.
done it.
Yeah, it's like a dead giveaway that none of this is real.
Right. It's like, who would write a capital T inside steel toe?
Right.
There we go. There we go. Oh, we can get rid of YouTube in a little bit. There's Rumble. There's Rumble Studio. Look at that, guys. I think I finally got it done. And, you know, I go to my chat, my lovely chat, you amazing people, you wonderful people. And here's what I get. About fucking time, gay F word.
Wow.
Holy fuck, bud. Oh, I did get it perfect. I did get it. There we go. Another professional program brought to you by Aaron Imholt from Steel Toe. I feel like that is I feel like that's sarcasm. Aaron, you should test drive a link with Joe Hendry to see if things are actually working. Now play something to see if we can hear. All right, let's do that. We've already got a link in from Veldrain. Thank you for the $5, buddy. Appreciate that. Before we do anything, we should say goodbye to YouTube at some point. Let's throw them the Rumble link. Now, I'm going to do something real quick, and it might fuck everything up. Just give me a second. I'm going to see if I can unmute this site, and it will work. Ready?
Steady.
Are we still good? No, we're not. Mute that site again. It's okay to mute that site. There's nothing wrong with muting that site. We don't need two outputs. That is highly unnecessary. Better go an extra 10 minutes to make. It's been 5 minutes. Dinosaur Fuel says you have to pay us for positive messages, Aaron. Oh, okay. Well, hey, guess what? We did it. We're here. Ready? Here. Rumble Friday.
Jesus Christ.
It's the noise canceling. That's like the noise canceling at Rumble Studio. He hasn't turned that off yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a well, you know, we could I do have something we could play to test this, but didn't I say if you guys hit the goal yesterday that I wouldn't play that particular song? I guess the only way I can play that particular song is if you guys throw it in as a.
Is this the Kermit song about moving away from black people?
Is that what it is?
He always plays that on Rumble Friday.
No, he doesn't. Always?
No. It's like every time I've tuned into a Rumble Friday, I've heard it.
I've seen it once. I don't know what you're talking about.
The link today.
Moody, we don't need to make up stuff, okay? There's enough real stuff.
For Rumble Link Friday. By the way, today we are celebrating 6 weeks of goal perfection on the toe.
That's what his face looks like. Is that the face of a man who has 6 weeks of victory? Look at him.
Have you seen those clips where they take the laughter, like the laugh track, out of sitcoms?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Friends without
Big Bang Theory.
right. And they just all look so awkward.
Yes.
This is what's happening right now.
Aaron without a soundboard. I'd love to see Chad with the soundboard audio taken out. See what that show would look
And
like.
it's just, you see a man come to like a deep realization about his position in the universe.
Yes. And he's like, shake it off. Don't let him see you frown. You gotta
I like it when I read a chat and I get worried only to realize it's one of our fans shitting on me. Ryan the Garbage Man said the fag filter must be on because that shirt looks gay. And I was like, oh no, is there some kind of a filter? Like, oh, wait, no, he's just saying my Gordon.
Could he go one show without gay jokes?
But
Like, don't if someone writes it, don't read it, and if you come up with it in your head, don't say it. One
And
show
two-
without a gay joke.
2 weeks ago, he berated a listener because he
Yep.
was like, "That's so lazy."
I know,
Like,
guys,
get
it's
it, you're not a
low-hanging fruit. Just
professional.
just
He's like,
call
"You're
me
not a
gay.
professional like me, so I understand that you can't you don't have the wit, but like it's just like lazy, uninspired.
It is.
Like,
He was right. It's so embarrassing.
now look, if I knew that I could just host this show on my channel and then ghost, I'd be floating. I swear to God. But we oughta before
Can I just defend our buddy Tukey real quick? He was reluctant to host today, and Patrick insisted that he did.
We should
And
have
now look
taken him
where
at his
we're at.
word.
Yeah, I didn't. He said he was available, and
I
he
know,
clearly is available. But I have a feeling he's got a pina colada
Yeah.
upstairs, just watching the show now, going like, "This is how you do it." But like
He's
we
like
said, it is about the goal. We gotta hit Tukey's goals, even though he's not here.
Yep.
I mean, this is OJ behavior, frankly. All right, we got Jared Rackman with a new membership. Thank you very much, Jared Rockman, with another new membership. I don't know how that works. Coach Ubiquity grabbing a membership. Silent Shapes gifting a Bedabbler
Nice.
network membership.
Love
Thank
Silent
you very
Shape.
much. Coach Ubiquity gifting a membership. Kaylee Cranston still laughing at Melton's Ope and family voice. Yeah, I was imagining Opie's entire family talks like Opie does. Dinner's ready. Get in here.
Can we go to Costco?
Yes.
I want to go with Mom to Costco.
Paper towels.
I loved your Opie impression the other night. It's fantastic. As I said, as Opie talks more and more like a retard, it's getting easier and easier to do an impression of Opie.
Yeah, but it's just the sign of, like, again, a 60-year-old man who like isn't comfortable in his own skin, and
He hasn't
always
figured out what
looks
his
for
voice
this
is yet.
affectation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane. Ewa gifting 5 Bedabbler network memberships. Thank you very much, Ewa.
Which are pretty much
Appreciate that.
useless because Tukey just leaves his own
not even
channel.
here. It's really lazy stuff.
He should just give it to Cardiff. Cardiff would actually use it.
Mason in Portland, aka Portland Shane Gillis, gifting 5 Bedabbler memberships. Thank you, Mason in Portland. Bedazzler, member for 15 months, says thank you, OJ. We miss you. Let's frot.
Ugh,
that
that's so
mean?
gross.
Do you think?
It's when you fuck in between someone's thighs.
Oh, weird.
Frotting.
Yes, frodding or frottage. Yeah,
Frottage
yeah.
cheese.
The implication is that the person is sometimes too young to do anything else with.
Oh,
yeah,
got
it's
dark.
not nice.
Right.
That's
Reverend Billy, send OJ the link and thank him.
I want a girl with the thigh gap. I can't even feel it when I do that.
Right.
Just air.
My dick doesn't touch
Net?
either side.
Nothing but net through a woman's leg.
What was that in Brooklyn Nine-Nine? When Captain Holt's pretending to be straight, he's like, the sexiest part of a woman, the thigh gap. Nothing hotter than the complete absence of a penis.
Not me. I like dangling labia lips. That's what I like. I like to use them as a windsock so I can tell
They
which
should be-
direction to land my plane.
And they should be dripping. Yes, I agree.
Michaela says, unblock me, Patch. I don't know what you're talking about. Catalano Corner with American Cupcake is a new member as well. Thank you guys very much for your memberships. And of course, we got some super tips to do. Supertip.gg/Tukey. Let's see if I can. How do I put his? Can I just put him up? No.
You can just put him up. You could
How do
solo
I?
him.
Maybe if I.
You don't have to do that, but all right.
Yeah, you could just
Yeah,
drag
there
and
you-
drop
well, that'll work.
people around.
Nick really needs to stop thinking about me. When I woke up every morning, I read his Kiwi Farms thread and found out he is still thinking about me.
I think we played that one
Nick
before.
really needs to stop thinking about me. When I
You're
woke up
just
every
making
morning, I
fun.
read his Kiwi
Fuck
Farms
you.
You're
thread
just
and
making
found
fun
out
of
he's
Aaron
still
for technical
thinking about me.
difficulties. You're killing me over here.
We're
Killing me,
I think we
Smalls.
did it, guys. We're doing it.
Shut up.
The only reason I say April's meat slit stinks is because Nick's banana juice makes it smell and taste better. Cope and seethe over that, nerds.
Yeah, it's like putting whipped cream on a sundae. I get it. Like it was okay, but now. How is Aaron's microphone in front of Tukey? It's called layering.
Yeah.
We don't have time to do a broadcast.
This is a pro show, Jay Loiterer.
Yeah, figure it out.
You can tell though that he's messed up the layers and he hasn't quite aligned. There's 2 microphones and 2 stands.
Oh, you're right. I just noticed. Oh shit!
Gonna call him out.
Oh, god damn it, Moody.
How's
We
there
would have
2
noticed that if the
microphones?
puppet was here.
There's 2 microphones and 0 Tukeys. Hey Tukey, do you also stare at Jenny's chest? Wow, this is early for a Jenny slam in this program. We're ahead of schedule. Luigi Greenberg, Tukey, stop telling potatoes that I'm the one that told you about the dried cumfish smell. All right, this seems personal. You guys can text about this.
Yeah.
I think this is LL Cooley, right? Moody, I heard about how you spackling Patrick's toilet and walk away. I've lost interest. We had something special, you dirty commode guy.
Oh no, you lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You got to clean it. You got to douche that ass before LL Cooley will come near you.
That's sad. I hate to see a relationship end like this.
So the Toe Boys are just a bunch of OJs that hate Nick and can't articulate a reason why. I bet they won't fly to HackaMania 2. I'm sorry, blind Mike puppet without glasses. Please don't make me cry again. Hal Hedler. Gross.
Did you make OJ cry, Moody?
I don't think so. But the
blind Mike puppet with no glasses, I think.
Oh yeah, blind Mike puppet. There's the Toe Boys have been around longer than the Nick haters have been in Aaron's life. So it's like it's a group of Minnesota people, and they have locked that group down. I've tried to get into it a few times, couldn't. I'm like, all right, they just want to be the Toe
Like
Boys.
our secret Discord that you have to infiltrate.
Right.
If you
Right,
want to
you
be a
need
part of
to-
it.
We need to send people in.
Shit show. When does this little slow J show start? This little slow J? Oh no. Leave OJ alone until after HackaMania. Then we turn. That's when we turn on.
Sweet like citrus, had plans to go hard. DabbleCon hype had me swiping the card. 30-hour drive till I saw Nick Recchietta. Now I'm chilling in the yard.
Thanks, OJ. Thanks, OJ. Beloved chatter, when will Aaron start dipping into Louis' college fund to make up for the goal? It might be too late for him anyway. So no. You think there's a college fund for these children?
That's a stuttering John move right there.
He pays less than the minimum. He had to go to court and petition them to pay less than he normally would for his kids.
Yes.
He doesn't have
$800 a month he
fund.
pays for 3 children. Like,
And if he was actually raising money for their college fund, he would say, "I'm doing
he'd
this for
brag
my
about
kids."
that. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
So no, that's not on his mind at all. But
These
maybe now
kids
it
are
will
on-
be.
These are definitely free lunch kids. Remember the free lunch kids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It was embarrassing because they would get up to the front of the line and kind of, instead of handing money over to the cashier, they'd be like, they'd just give their student ID and be like, 47398.
They just show the stain on their shirt. And they'd be like, yeah. You got it.
Sort of the bruise from daddy.
yeah. That's all
My
you
dad played football with me this weekend. I can't hold a pen. Why don't you have your homework, Louis? Oh, my hands are bruised. Oh, God. Head pilot MH370, the ghost of Mr. P. I'm funnier sleeping than Chad at his best. Tukey, you choke the clown to Jenny's large cans. You going to take that, Carl, that your wife has big tits?
Yeah.
You gonna sit there
I'm
and
cool.
take that?
I'm cool with that.
I do little B. M. Holt is Bundy Jr. in the making. Oh no.
None
David
of the-
Faustino?
Who's Little B? Oh, little bastard.
Little bastard. Little
Right.
bastard.
Oh, that's his hip hop
Jesus
name.
Christ. Yes, little B. Ray said Aaron has Count Chocula hair. Broken clock theory.
Oh, right. So the hair thing. We've you pointed out, like when we were watching the old episodes from the 2019 days, his hair was mousy brown. Like it was a like a very brown.
Yes,
It wasn't
light.
dark at all.
Light brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it is
Jet
jet
black.
black. I was going through some older episodes to see some things that we could watch for Old Boot Goofin. And I went back to December of 2023, and his hair was light brown then. So sometime in 2024, Aaron M. Holt began to dye his hair. I want people out there in the chat, like, figure it out. Let's find the day Aaron M. Holt began to dye his hair.
It was the day that Kayla Ricada said, "I like it when your hair is darker."
I think a little bit of it can be attributed to some contrast settings and his crappy camera setup.
Yeah,
because
bad lighting.
But also, I think it's like the donkey lips factor, where it's like he doesn't think about it, or he can't afford it, or something. Where like he'll dye it and it'll get lighter and lighter and lighter, and then he'll dye it, but he's buying the wrong color. He's buying this like jet black color because his mugshot photo also had that lighter brown hair. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, or maybe it's just gotten worse recently, where he's keeping it darker and darker. I'm not sure, but he's definitely dyeing his hair, which is insane. It's very, very good.
No, I don't. Someone's saying I dye my hair. I don't. I've got like patches of white from the side.
Yeah,
and it's not Nick.
Actually has some gray specks coming in early. The one pun he probably also narrated when he cleaned out April. April cleaned him out, if you remember. April like emptied their bank account,
$5,000
like $5,000 or something. Like that. Yes. Close cuck porn. Okay, good to go. AO1012. Yeah, you always got to get frothed up before you watch this little piggy. We recommend some self-pleasuring activity to cuck porn before you watch the show. Head pilot MH370 goes to Mr. P. Nick, are you at 14 minutes, champ? Why are you talking to Nick on our show if he's not on? You are the creed of loser land, Minnesota. Your wife was with the guy you're called clown. You are nuts. Love to new P.O. Box Corning coming. I can't with this guy. Go to bed, Mr. P. You're up past your time. Chris Benoit, Big Sauce, Jesse P.S. Podawful said he was going to be at HackaMania. Can you confirm this? If yes, that would be dope. He is hilarious. I have no clue. You have to ask. If he says he'll be there, I imagine he'll be there. Why not? Everyone's welcome. Moo! Notice Patrick always skips Aaron clips about politics because it kills Patrick that he agrees with that tard on his political takes. You too, Carl, fag boy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Segments.
It's not because Aaron's takes are boring. There's nothing to say.
I don't know if my political beliefs line up exactly with Aaron. I would doubt it.
Aaron doesn't know what progressive taxes are. So like he doesn't know enough to have actual political takes.
But I skip his segments on The View too. Like we skip when he thinks he's doing actual like segments. Like we don't watch. That's not what.
It's very boring.
Interesting about Aaron.
It's not good.
House Imholt has been seeing some tough days, sure. Sunny days ahead. The sun never sets on the empire of Toe, and the new heir of House Imholt is growing inside Slam Pig as we speak.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Gooey.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. They're going to
need to... an interesting theory. Maybe he's already knocked her up.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh.
Yes, did he get a vasectomy, or am I thinking of something else? Has he ever had a vasectomy? I think April was unable to have children.
Well, she's unable to have an orgasm. We know that.
But she had something that
having a
stopped it.
I think there was something about him. He said he had one. People are saying he got a vasectomy, but those things can be reversed.
They can be reversed.
Snip, snap.
AO1012. We need Aaron on financial audit to see where all the gold money
goes. That's a great idea.
Caleb Hammer.
Him with Caleb Hammer would be amazing. I'd love to see Caleb going through his receipts of all the not fast food, the gas station junk food he buys.
I can see the thumbnail now. This cuck made me so angry.
You drink 12 Celsius a day?
Taquitos. Hinty Groro. That was fast. What's good, gay boys? What's good with you? Thank you for watching.
Tookie has been providing as much to the show as I do.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the biggest shit ever. Maybe he's
OJ
been
level.
arrested. Maybe they came and got him for the hard drive hack.
Good.
He was involved. MH370 goes to Mr. P. Nick, you are barred. Drop the name. You are a rat. This is getting personal.
Dr. Steve, I got a medical question for you.
Yes, how may I help you, Nick's cum taster?
I went to fuck April, but her pussy smelt fishy. Kind of like tuna crotch.
BV is responsible for the fishy smell most commonly associated with unpleasant vaginal odors. The fishy smell may be especially strong after sex. Another common symptom to look out for with BV is a gray or grayish white discharge. If you notice a strong fishy odor, especially after sex, along with other symptoms like unusual discharge, itching, or burning, it's important to see a doctor for diagnosis and treatment.
Discharges are bad. That's what I'm gathering the most from my sexual education. You don't want to discharge.
I think I heard that Memphis Dabbler is actually Dr. Steve.
Yes.
That
is Dr. Steve.
Yeah,
Who else
that
would
is
write something like that?
By the way, Dr. Steve's going to be at HackaMania, the last weird medicine ever, live on stage at HackaMania, and he's going to be taking audience questions. So
for a lot of people, it'll be your first weird medicine and your last weird medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But he's going to be doing live medical advice. So if you have something you're too embarrassed to ask your doctor, why not do it on stage in front of people that will be broadcast forever?
Last year, he gave Rocco a on-stage prostate exam.
Allegedly.
Well, he showed the little finger.
I
glove
smelled
thing.
it. He definitely got
that.
there.
You're right. I saw a magic trick once where they cut the woman in half and they showed that
There was some like light brown discharge on there, and like not
motor
so
oil
much.
is available at every Pep Boys. What's wrong with you?
It wasn't so much that it was fake. Like there was a small amount that was barely perceptible.
Are we really arguing this? What's going on?
I can't believe Moody's this out of it. Jesus Christ, this is insane.
I can't believe you would hold my small technical mishap over my head like this. We hit the goal. That's all that matters. Love the show. Keep it up, boys.
Keep it up, boys.
Thanks,
Shane M., I just want to thank Tukey for his 5-minute appearance.
Jesus Christ. We've been trying to get Tukey on this show for months. He finally is like, all right, I'm on, guys.
All this money goes to Tukey. We want to thank him for hosting today. Fantastic.
So gracious.
Doing a great job. Kip Smith to not unblock Michaela. Okay, so Michaela gave $2 and said unblock. Kip Smith with $3 to not unblock. We'll be looking for the next bid and see what people think. And last but not least, fuck you, Patrick. I was a free lunch kid, and now I'm a butter eating contestant at HackaMania. Look at me now. Yes, so we have a butter eating contest during NLO at HackaMania. We're eliminating it to 10 slots. I think 3 of the slots are taken, and one of them is taken by our good friend Lucy Typebox, aka Once Over Kaylee, who has
Lucy can eat some butter.
Yeah, she's done the challenge before, but I told her it's just like Billy Mitchell says: you want to prove something to people, you got to come do it live in front of an audience.
Which side is she eating the butter with?
Which side?
Yeah, is it going in the front or the back?
Oh no!
Did people have to pay to be in that butter eating contest?
It's a $5 just for the sign up. It's
right.
It's basically to make sure that you have a ticket. You can't sign up for the butter eating contest unless you bought a ticket to HackaMania, so we don't get fraudulent people signing up. Or again,
also to cover our costs for those sticks of butter. You know, Trump's
economy.
Trump's economy. Obviously, it's a lot.
Found a way to sell sticks of butter for $5 each.
Yes. That's why it's only open to 500 contestants. I'm just outside selling butter on the sidewalk downtown Las Vegas. No, and for people asking questions, this will be real butter. We'll get real butter, and it'll be salted butter. I think that'll just have more of a flavor. I don't want you having unflavored.
You don't want to just get unsalted and let them salt the butter as much as they want?
Okay, we can
salt
have
the butter.
Guy
what the
there
fuck?
cracking pepper over.
Right. This isn't a hard-boiled egg. What are you talking about?
Salt the butter.
Let me dip this in some salt.
We should get into our. Oh, hold on. Oh, fuck. We just had we'll save them. We should get into our main topic for today, and this is steel toe going back to radio. Now, again,
Right.
I just want to say, I want to go into this topic. This is what we've been teasing, but we cannot leave here without talking about Steel Toe versus Tom Myers. Okay. I'll be very disappointed if we don't get into Tom Myers talk on this
do you
program.
have a clip?
I didn't bring any clips. Tukey was supposed to bring clips today.
Now, it's important to zoom out here. So again, since 2023, he's been promising his return to radio. I actually have a proposal that he sent to a radio station in 2023
You're
about
gonna get arrested.
what this could look like, the return of Steel Toe to radio. Now, that was 2023. He said by Labor Day 2023 the goal would be gone. Him and April would have a new way to make money because this wasn't sustainable.
Right.
Now we know a year and a half later, this is the plan.
And in 19th of September 2023, he said, in a year from now, if I'm still doing the goal, I will leave. I will stop doing the show.
Right. And
then
people
he's
called him out
implanted.
about that. And he said, dude, like, you say stuff.
Dean called him out to his face about that, which was
Right.
amazing. And he said, I changed my mind.
Right.
And then had a meltdown about it. and
then declared that
all
he beat the
kinds of
shit out
names.
of Dean on the show.
All right.
But
so
there's a small, not yet, Moody. I'll hand the baton over to you. But I want to get into what he's been talking. It's important to set this up correctly.
Okay.
Because there's a smug arrogance of Aaron Imholt. And recently, aside from now, remember when Fox 9 did a story covering Aaron's felony dissemination of sexual images without permission,
AKA revenge porn. Yep.
Kayla Ricada, aka revenge porn. He was facing a misdemeanor and a felony. The felony, I think, comes with up to 3 years in prison, maybe 5 years in prison. I'm not sure. A fine. And last we heard, we were seeing that subpoenas were being readied for Gino Bisconte and Kiki.
Well, they'd received them, didn't they? Isn't that why this guy all got brought up?
I don't think Kiki and Gino are served.
We don't know yet.
I thought they were. I thought
we
that's
don't
why
really
they
know.
brought
I
it
don't
up.
think we know.
Okay.
But Nick was being subpoenaed. April was being subpoenaed.
Yep.
And Kayla
And
was.
Kayla.
So all these people were going to be there. Carl was getting over his skis in our private chat going like, we got to book a hotel. And I was like, hold. Like there's no.
I was
there's
planning a
nothing-
family vacation. I'm like, I asked my parents what they were doing that week.
Stearns County, Minnesota. You're
Yeah.
like, guys, donuts as big as your head. You're going to want to go. So
You ever eating pasta out of a bucket, Dad? Come on, let's go.
we've been waiting to go to, what were we calling it? HackaMania?
Cuckamania.
Out in Minnesota to attend this trial right after HackaMania. It's supposed to be May 13th and 14th, I believe. And then out of
still
nowhere,
scheduled, by the way. It's still on there.
and then out of nowhere, an article dropped. This article dropped,
Okay.
and Aaron, same guy, couldn't stop bragging about this. And he was back on the side of Clippers. He's like, look at this image from Stalin 19. Great guy. Now, last week, Clippers were all psychos and mentally ill. They had to be to clip shows. And it's written by this guy, Paul Shea.
I have this clip if you want to watch it.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Is that the one you got up?
That's what I've loaded up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's watch this. I just want to read the article after.
Yeah.
I think that's
totally.
going to be.
I've got all
important.
this lined up. So,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Right. So, this is Aaron talking about the article.
And I made the news again. I've been talking to people to get back in the old business, right? And they keep saying this doesn't matter. This case thing doesn't matter. We're still, we're looking at how we can make this happen, blah, blah, blah. I have watched more radio companies report the good news on this plea thing. And then I have heard from radio people who are talking to me more than they used to since the plea information came out. And I'm like, I'm starting to think these guys might have been bullshitting before. And they were like, we want him back. But, we want it back in the right, this thing's got to go well. Let's not stress him out. Let's not hurt his feelings, but we're keeping an eye on it.
So it's looking like he's shaping it up to be a puff piece. This is great news for the toe it's going to be another win for the toe in the media.
So, give it a little time. I think we've got till, what is it, April 10th to work out the finer points. We will do that. And I think this bad boy is coming to an end. I could tell you why I think it's coming to an end, but I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to spoil anything. Just know that I feel.
Hold on.
I feel good.
There's so many tells right there. Holy
last
shit.
week,
this has changed completely, right?
Last week he said, out of nowhere, I got an offer for a deal.
Yep.
And this week he's saying, I could tell you why I think it's coming to a close, but I don't want to jinx it. It's like, you told us last week.
Last week it was a misdemeanor and $50. And he's like, I can't believe it. I talked to my attorney, I talked to everyone. It's amazing.
You signed that as fast as possible. Like you gotta.
But this week it's a secret. Like I can tell you what's going on, but
and now it's
there's
April
a reason
10th?
I think this is almost over.
It's going to take 3 more weeks to figure this out.
Well,
Why?
because there was I guess a motion hearing or something like
so
that.
there's a motions hearing on the 10th of April.
Hearing.
Yeah. There's a motions hearing on the 10th of April.
Calendar. It's just
motions hearing on the 10th of April. But last week when he was bragging, he said that if this isn't sorted by the end of next week, we're going to still have to prepare to fight.
Right.
So it's like, okay, but the longer you don't sign, the more up against the wall you are.
Yeah, it made no sense because he was like, basically like they're offering me a slap on the hand, but I'm like, wait a minute, I have some other evidence I'd like to enter into consideration. And it's like,
and he wanted to see what their evidence was, and they wanted to go through everything. It's just like, no, it's a plea deal, which means all of it's moot. Just say yes or no.
This is a dream deal. It's everything and more than what we could have ever wanted. And like, it's better than the best case scenario.
Yes.
We just got to work out a few other things.
Even he was shocked about it. He's like, I don't even understand how this happened. And we're all going, how did this happen? What do you mean?
And then this news article drops and he's bragging about how there's 3 companies and and they're all interested in him and they just want this to blow over. Go ahead with it.
And that's it. That's it publicly, I should say. MN Vikings with 199 says, saw you on WJON for good reasons this time. Yeah, local radio, local news radio covering this. Former St. Cloud radio host may not be headed for trial. The guy who reported this is I think, operations manager or program director.
What a headline.
Over at...
it's
may not be headed for trial. Okay. What does that mean? It's a horrible headline. But anyway, I like these now. So now he's gonna act like he doesn't know who this guy is.
No, he does.
No, I know he does. He's like, I think he's I think he does something.
I think in Aaron's mind that he's seeing this headline and it is a version of the truth that he was manifesting.
Correct.
And to see it represented on a website for news, he's like, people are on my side. They get it.
That's
By
true.
The way, the only source for this article is Aaron M. Holt saying I might not be going to trial.
Right, correct. Like if there was an article on a website that said Carl Hamburger's penis is bigger than anyone imagined, I would definitely pull it up on my show.
Carl, could WATP be signing a deal with Netflix?
Fuck, I'm trying not to leak that. God damn it, Patrick.
Right, but you said it, so
now I know it's going to come out. You're right. WJON's going to be all over it.
At Town Square Media here in town. Paul Shea, also a classmate of mine. I graduated high school with Paul. One of our mutual friends is like one of our best pals. I like him. I don't know if he likes me. Maybe he thinks I'm a dick. I don't.
That means he knows he doesn't like him.
We will know the answer to that question in a few
by
minutes.
the end of this show.
No, I think we should do business together. But then again, who knows what the future holds? So old Shay,
here's the thing too.
Wrote this up
because Mooney pointed this out. There are 3 different companies trying to get Aaron M. Holt that are flirting with Aaron M. Holt about the comeback. But apparently, there are only 2 companies that broadcast in Aaron's area.
Yeah.
There are only 2 companies.
That's how good he is, Patrick. What aren't you understanding about this?
There's Leighton Media and there's Town Square Media, which Paul Shea works for and manages 6 stations, I believe.
Mhm.
But somehow there's an imaginary third station. Aaron doesn't know if this guy likes him, but he runs these stations.
That's a good point. I don't know if he likes you or not. He's been
math.
talking to all these stations. You're
Let's
right.
do the math. 3 stations are after me, even though there's only 2 companies in town.
Right.
And one of them that manages 6 stations, Aaron doesn't know if he likes me or not. So that can discount that guy as flirting with him and trying to get him on board. So there's one company.
This guy's the director of content for all 6 stations.
Can be no more than one company after Aaron Imholt. This is a complete lie.
Share my screen, Patrick, because I've got the Nielsen radio ratings for the 187th largest market in the US, St. Cloud, Minnesota. And here we see WWJO-FM. This is Paul Shea's radio. He's a host on their morning show, I think called Paul and Kelly. He is Paul from that. And they are the leaders at the moment. And you can see
by the way,
Town
those
Square
numbers
Media.
are higher than any number we ever saw in Aaron's.
Right.
The Aaron's were like 3 point, 4 point. These are 7s and 6s, almost 8 in one case. 8.
This station is killing it. Like this is the station that they've got.
It's always country too when it comes to music formats now in all these markets.
It's country,
the
but
winner.
they'll have talk shows and that on it as well. So it's not just
there's
it's not
a morning
just that.
show.
And
Sure.
so there are other companies listed here, but they're just music stations. They're not talk.
And
So
Paul is the creative director for Town Square Media's St. Cloud stations. So
6 stations.
anytime that you see Town Square Media, there should be 6 of them in here. Paul decides who goes on, who goes
What's what.
off.
Right.
What's
Okay,
what.
so I have a quick question for you guys. I haven't seen this yet. So the Tri-County Broadcasting, WHMH,
HMH.
is that where he used to work?
Yes.
So there's no way he's getting hired back to that company. They
Burnt
fired
that
him.
bridge.
On the table. No.
He's burned that bridge.
Okay.
So burnt that bridge. Town Square Media is where Paul works, and Leighton Enterprises. This is Leighton Media, Leighton Broadcasting. He's talked about potentially working there, but he says there's others that I'm speaking to.
Dude, Leighton is hilarious. There's literally job openings there were months ago on their website for morning radio show host.
Right.
I've never seen that before. Like a job opening, like, hey, if anyone wants to apply to be a morning radio host.
And the station that Aaron is number one in his mind that he's trying to get back on is KNSI.
All right, I thought it was KCLD.
KNSI. That is the station he's trying to get back on.
Okay, that would make more sense. News talk over contemporary hits.
Yes.
I don't see Aaron as a top 40s guy.
Leighton Broadcasting or Leighton Enterprises describe themselves as a family-owned and family-operated company. So
Correct.
There's a lot of thought about a family, people working together.
And if you go to the employees, like the About Us, where it lists their employees and stuff, it's women. It's a lot of women running this company.
And Aaron gets along with women famously, so that'll be fine.
Well. Ask Heather from Heather and Fish.
Right. So Town Square Media is one. Leighton Enterprises is the other one. Tri-County Broadcasting, we can rule that one out. Crystal Media Group, maybe. And then after that, it's just like single stations, right? Tri-County, yeah. iHeartMedia. He's never.
Okay, get
like,
back
these
on
are-
track. Let's get back on track.
All right, let's go. Stop screen, present, share screen.
You're doing the Aaron thing. Open
Right.
Facebook, scroll,
Okay.
look at the post.
And it basically just goes over what we were talking about on the show the other day.
Okay. Why would you
it does
go?
go
It basically goes over what we were talking about on the show the other day.
Right.
No.
In other words, don't bother reading it. Just want you guys to know that I'm being covered by the media.
This article details what Aaron did to this woman, Kayla Ricada, in disseminating this sexual image without her consent, revenge porn. And it also goes into his history about how he was fired from radio originally for harassing women, or harassing a woman in particular, Heather, on a station in Iowa, and convincing people to make attacks on her Facebook page, post inappropriate things, personally attack her, such and such, all on air. And that's the reason he lost his job. Aaron, why wouldn't you read this incredibly positive article?
You're right. You have 4.5 hours to fill. Like, go ahead, read it.
Floating boasting. And again, the only source of the article is historical facts and Aaron Imholt saying I'm probably not in trouble. So like, why wouldn't you read this if he's like blah 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 blah, it's all good, saying what I said last week, like I'm the best, I'm coming back. Like, it's nuts to not. It's just like that when he has a clip of like Melton crying and losing his mind over us hitting the goal. It's like, play a clip, read an article, show any sort of evidence that substantiates the claims you're making. He just never does that.
Yeah, he thinks he's been questioned about that in the past. He said his audience is intelligent enough to do their own research was one of the things. And the other ones is he lets people, they can do that work for him. He doesn't need to do that work.
Yeah, he needs to cover The View every morning. Like, you guys won't believe what they did on The View.
Which is like,
he's a documented liar. This was so like, if I was Aaron and I like lied to my audience for 6 months straight about the Ricadas and April and everything that was going on, I would feel like, man, when I say something, I better fucking back it up from now on to prove that I'm not lying about this thing.
But again, he has so little actual wins. If he truly believes this is an amazing, positive article, why wouldn't you take a minute to read it and bathe in the sunlight? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you?
Because didn't he watch the one about Kayla, like the Fox 9 thing? He watched that on his show, didn't he?
Right. And that was negative. And by the way, those guys were paid off by Nick's family. He's made these claims that, like, yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
All right. Pretty good job with it. But I love this part. And I think Stalin will love this part too. Image credit, Stalin 19 via YouTube and Canva. Stalin 19 getting a little...
So, not only last week were all the Clippers mentally ill and psychos, and you had to be a Clipper. We also remember months ago that he started clipping his own clips because he said, I'm starting to realize these Clippers, Doom, Colin 19, Real Media Player, these aren't flattering clips. These guys are like making fun of me. But like, so the oscillation between these guys are on my side, they're not on my side, they're mentally ill, this guy gets it right. Like, you can't even... Doom was day to day. Like, one day Doom was like a liar, part of the liberal media, bought and paid for it. And the next day he's like, Doom gets it right. Doom's honest.
When
like
Kiki was when Kiki was on the outs with Aaron and she was going through the stuff with Will Heron, he started looking into the camera going, Kiki, like, the Clippers are an important part of the ecosystem. You can't go after them. They keep the shows alive. Like, it's a constant. Yeah, it's a constant flip-flop.
Getting a little how do you do from WJON. So good for him. It's a lot of people want to talk to me about it. Privately, I've had a lot of conversations about it, and I've been much more candid on what my thoughts are. But
neat.
As far as publicly
goes,
that's
not content. Just saying that you talked to someone. And by the way, when I talked to this person, I told them all this shit that I'm not saying on this program. Cool. Thanks.
Guys,
how does that add to anything?
Carl and I texted yesterday about HackaMania flights. I don't want to get into it.
Dude. On the air. Yeah, by the way, I fucked up tonight. Shit.
I don't want to. Carl, we don't need to do it on air. I don't want to do this on air. I don't know why I brought it
I'm the worst.
Feeling good. Just a lot of horse trading back and forth now. The finer points are good. We just got a
horse
few,
trading. They have an SP too.
Details that we want to work out.
We just got. I love the sentence that he says here.
A few details that we want to work out. Some things we'd like to talk about. Some things that, you know, they're not really asking much. They just kind of laid this out for us and said, "What do you think?" And now we're on the "What do we think?" part. So. And then I'm going to be like, don't get yourself caught up in the legal system. You're introspective, but don't be a dipshit. JON bump. The JON bump for Stalin 19.
So on my show, we went to Stalin 19's channel. We don't need to do it, but we went to Stalin 19's channel, and this JON bump, he was telling people like, yeah, they're probably getting so many hits on this article and the video that, like, this could bring your boy back to life.
Right.
We went and looked, and objectively, both the videos Stalin 19 has clipped about Aaron M. Holt's return to radio or Aaron M. Holt's beating the felony trial charges or whatever it is, had way less views than all of Stalin.
And they were linked in the article, right?
Yes.
And it was linked in the article.
Which tells you that this article, I mean, who goes, and no offense to the person who runs these stations and wrote that article, who goes to radio websites?
Right.
Nobody.
Not only are people not listening to radio, they're
Yeah, they're
not going
not
to
going to the
radio.com.
website. I've talked about this before, but I used to work in media agencies where, yeah, I know, isn't that crazy? I never bring it up.
God.
And in these media agencies, my job was on the buying side. So we would buy advertising on behalf of our clients. And every radio station would come in and pitch their website. And it's just like, no one's going to your website. You just saw what it looked like. It's still got banner ads on it, like it's E-Bombs World from 2002.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys haven't figured it out yet.
I still think banner ads are a relevant source of income. It's insane.
There was a as far as internet marketing goes, there was a shift in like the early 2010s from websites to like centralized platforms like YouTube and whatever like that, which killed websites like The Walrus Life. Remember, James Chomer used to be on the show quite a bit. He had like a website, you'd go to it, you'd watch his Flash cartoons and all of that.
Cartoons and
Right.
yeah, exactly.
And you'd go to that creator's website. That doesn't happen anymore. Instead, it's a channel that they have on a platform that you're there with watching other stuff, and there's discoverability and all that.
Which, by the way, sucks. It's the worst way the internet could have gone, but here we are.
Yeah. Now there's like $1 trillion companies deciding.
Yeah, there's 3 companies that decide
Who's
everything on the
what.
internet and give you
Right.
all the advertising and can just demonetize you and take you off the internet anytime they want. It's great.
Do we want to continue with this, or do we want to go to the read the article?
When are we
I
going to
think
get
we
to the
wanna-
fireworks
we wanna-
factory?
Well, we know what the article is. It's not positive. It's not painting him in a good light, and that's why he won't read it. And just
The
tells
article
everybody it's great.
sums up like this. The way you can sum this up is this guy says he's not going to trial. Can you fucking believe it? By the way, he also abused this other woman many years ago when he was on the radio.
Yeah, he talks about why he got fired from terrestrial radio. Talks about everything that happened with Kayla and the tattoos. And
I don't think we can get to the fireworks yet. I don't know if we've hit the goal. Can we check real
Right.
quick? to
All right, let's
see?
check on that.
Okay, all right.
I gotta jank this up to get it to show that full screen. Riles with $20 says unblock Michaela. So
All
now
right,
we
well,
got
that's
$20
leading.
bid to unblock Michaela. That's good. The one pun, Tukey. Today, Tukey is a better host than Chad.
Agreed.
Yes. Head pilot MH370 goes to Mr. Pete. Nick, you snitched on your dealer. Very, very good. 646 from Ewa to unblock Michaela. Well, you're already beaten by 20. So this is irrelevant. Try harder.
No, I think it adds.
Taquitos? No, those were stops for SpaghettiOs.
Spaghetti stops.
So today I was jerking my little scarlet skin weenie, and I tooted a teeny loadout. I was cranking it to the thought of Stevie Lowe sucking my left nut and Chad the right. I like black women, but white men's girl. Hoochie coochie time yummy.
Sounds so gay and juicy, my sister girl. Can I have a peek at your load, Kevin? If it's wet and salty enough, I will slurp it with my raw oysters tonight. Like Cardiff Electric, I savor sexy man cum. Only once in a while, though.
It's the motherfucking pina colada, dog. Rocco tried it with me and Lou. He tricked us into a compromising gay type of situation. Man, and I'm still trying to recover. Christina, get the Vagisil for my Chicago-style puffy butthole.
Oh, God.
It hurts.
Chicago style.
Deep dish asshole.
That's good.
That
good
bedabbler
line.
voice is the best. Is the best one we've got.
Jay
El Horrible.
Loiterer. Did you guys talk about the possible HackaMania venue change? I think Melton was talking about this the other day on his channel. Unless I misunderstood. Yep, we're moving it.
Jesus Christ.
We are moving it.
We're not moving it.
We're moving it.
We're not moving it.
Head pilot MH370 goes to Mr. Pete. Nick, if I was your DA, you'd be doing real time. You're trash. This guy doesn't like Nick.
Damn.
You'll never get to be DA if you're just sending emojis.
But I really want to see this guy suffer real bad. All right, you're not hired.
Yeah, that's what we
Shut
call
up, Carl. My Tard fans love giving to my legal war chest. SP, where is my mouthpiece? I need to gear up for the big fight.
Shut the door again. Coach Aaron's cummy lips, a few details we want to work out, aka the felony.
Right. He said the finer details we agree on, which is like, is my name spelled correctly? What is my birth date? But like the broad strokes, he hasn't, like, you don't know if you're going to go to jail or not. What are you?
This is the most fascinating thing he's ever done. He's such a compulsive liar that he's now lying about it and maybe this is actually how things go. I'd be surprised if it is. Why is this taking weeks?
I genuinely I think he is lying because he doesn't want us and all the other people who are going to HackaMania to go there. He's telling people to not book to like refund their tickets. We haven't bought tickets.
That seems
yet.
likely to me. That seems likely.
Idiot. He imagine being so dumb. He thinks we bought tickets to a thing that's probably not going to happen.
Right.
It's so insane. Gross HackaMania VIP Tim Bollinger says thank you, Tukey and OJ, for the show today. Okay. Can we get into
Thank you, OJ.
Can we get into the main event?
So I saw this article and I'm like, all right, this is the first local outrage I've seen about Steel Toe. It's interesting to me because we see St. Cloud through Aaron. There's not many other windows that we have into that town.
And it's an appropriate name because it's cloudy. When you look at it through Aaron's lens, it is a cloudy lens.
Or like that's where his head is. It's in the clouds.
Right.
So sorry. So I wanted to reach out to this guy, and I'm like, I reached out to Paul. I didn't know he was the host of a radio show or anything like that.
People don't remember. Paul's the guy who wrote the article that Aaron went to high school with.
Paul Shea.
Graduated high school with Paul Shea.
So I reached out to him, and I'm like, hey, I do a show along with a few other guys. It gets over 1,000 viewers like every week. We talk
Someone's doing well.
Right.
Button.
We talk about Aaron Imholt, and we're going to be discussing your article. Would you like to appear on the show with us? That was all I sent. So I didn't know if you knew about us. I didn't know about anything. And I get.
Did you put a full
email back?
Or what?
Sorry?
Did you put a hole in a water balloon or what? Because it came rushing. Anyway, it was
right. Okay, so here is email number 1 I received.
Oh, I got to put it up. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot I was hosting today.
All right. Who wants to read this?
I'll read it.
All right.
Mahmood, which is what people call you when they know
Yes.
you. Thanks for reaching out. Aaron and I didn't overlap at Brown, but we are both graduates of Brown College, formerly Brown Institute, was the school that people went to when they wanted to get into the broadcast industry in the upper Midwest. Aaron and I did attend high school together and both graduated Irondale High School in 2005. Go Cougars. I don't know. I subsequently now happen to work in the same market where he lives. I am not socially or personally engaged with Aaron. The last time I saw him in person was at a mutual friend's wedding and subsequent reception where we sat together at the same table along with other mutual friends. We did not speak at this function outside of a quick hello. He spent most of the reception dinner talking about how he writes everything off on his taxes or something like that to others at the table. Just to be clear, Paul wanted us to, he doesn't remember exact conversations about this when pressed, but that's what he remembers. And it aligns with a lot of the stuff Nick was telling
If
us.
the IRS is watching, this is a nothing burger. Don't worry about it.
Like
Aaron thinks
Nick
that
would brag about the same thing. Like Nick would say, Nick, he's always bragging about like his status in this.
Aaron thinks that
station.
if you're at the edge of a tax bracket and you suddenly make $1 more, then you will make like a whole lot of money less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand how that works.
He doesn't
Right.
understand it.
That's why all your companies to barely make money. I really wasn't paying much attention to Here April as I was catching up with some other classmates that I hadn't seen in a while. It was at this reception that several of my former classmates urged me to hire Aaron. Now, this is just a couple years ago. Someone passed my cell phone number to him after the event, as my wife and I left shortly after the dance began. He then texted me about a job possibility. I don't believe I replied, and I subsequently blocked his number. I can imagine Aaron. Yeah. Now Aaron's over there going like, this is a positive article.
Yep.
He wants to work together. We should
This
work.
is just to put the date on this through like the conversations I had with Paul later. This was early September 2023. So this is the one where he said, by Labor Day, I expect some good news about our return to the radio.
I'm doing the goal in a year. Put a bullet in my brain.
I'm talking to lots of guys about getting back on the radio.
How interesting is this, though? Here's a guy who could actually help Aaron out. He's the content director for all these stations in his local market. And Aaron doesn't think to network with him while they're sitting at the same table at a wedding.
No,
he's too busy bragging about his tax loopholes.
His tax write-offs.
What
This
a fucking
is the
idiot.
best, this is the best fucking part. Now we know Paul Shea is the director of content or whatever at
Creative
Town
director.
Square Media, creative director, Town Square Media, 6 stations. Many people in my building currently also worked here when Aaron was on the air at WHMH, and he made their lives really difficult. Just like in other instances in the past, he actively sought out his audience to call and harass the on-air talent here, as well as encourage them to be to post obscene pictures and comments on our station's social media pages.
So he was trying to do the past Jocktober thing.
Right.
And so he was actively fucking with his competition, who he's now trying to get hired.
He has pissed off so many people
Yes.
in local radio.
I mean,
And
guys,
he's still running around pounding his chest saying everybody wants to tow.
right. And we glossed over this, but here's a guy who knows Aaron. He's in the radio business. He knows Aaron from his radio show. He went to high school with him. And Aaron follows up with a text and he blocks him. What does that tell you right there? Like, I never block anyone on my phone. And the fact that he's just like, some guy's like, hey man, so it's good to see you at the wedding. Hey, I would love to talk to you about job opportunities. Like, no, fuck this. Block.
This is
better.
This is September 2023. It's before the divorce. He was there with April. This is before any sort of legal trouble. This was before the Ricadas.
They
like
hated
this,
him. They've hated him for years.
So all of the legal trouble and stuff aside, the stuff that he says is preventing him from getting back on the radio, that aside, assume that doesn't exist, he's still not going back on the radio.
Yeah. They've hated him well before the legal trouble. Don't show that yet.
All right.
I know that you are aware of his harassment of Heather Lee in Iowa. The best part in the world's coming up. Go ahead.
All right.
Come on. I wrote the story post more as an update, as I had heard that he was talking about a deal. And looking at his court calendar, I didn't see any updates. Same thing we've all said. Like, this is Aaron spin and bullshit. First, it was an offer. Now they're waiting to finalize details. Then he's like, I can't tell you why I think this is over soon. Which is it? I didn't see any updates, so I was hoping to force someone's hand to prove it. If you were offered a deal in this case, like he stated online, wouldn't you just take it and not wait around? Same thing we've said. This guy's not on his side. This is not a positive article.
No.
They hate you.
Aaron said that this guy did a great job and Fox 9 was paid off by Nick, but this is the good coverage.
Right. Yeah. Okay, here's the great stuff coming up. Quasi 40 chess maneuver. As an individual who works for a large corporation, Town Square Media, and as someone who oversees 6 stations in my market as director of content, I don't think it would reflect well if I talked about Aaron. So this is him saying, I don't want to come on the show.
Right.
I have my own show. We're kicking ass. We're number 1. We don't need to
understand.
Respect that.
Yes. Yes. Show me my favorite part. Get to it. Personally, his actions over the last 5 to 6 years have disgusted me as someone who is a human being, but also someone who makes a living as a broadcaster. So professionally and personally, they find you disgusting.
This guy hosts the number 1 morning show in the market. We just
in the market. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead. You don't do the stuff that he does and keep a job anywhere. Even Howard O&A learned that lesson. Aaron isn't Howard, Opie, or Anthony, but he wants to be, hence the reference.
Yep.
I do watch the program.
That's awesome.
This little piggy, as do several of us in the building.
Hi,
And we
guys.
enjoy most of the insights that you, Big Sauce, and Carl bring to the table in discussing M-Hole. In the radio station building, the employees of what you claim to be talking to and going back to watch this little piggy. They watch us dunk on you every week while you tell your audience that you're going back to radio and you're talking to all these people. You liar.
They're also
They're
writing
more
up
of
an
a
offer
fan-
letter, though. You got to
they're
understand, like,
more
it's
of a
Friday at
fan of
4.
This little piggy. They're watching this little piggy in Minnesota. The #1 host of radio in St. Cloud is a fan of the show that makes fun of you, loser.
I didn't mention this little piggy in the email that I sent to him.
You did not.
I didn't mention Patrick or Carl or Tukey. He said
Sauce.
he watches the show enough to know you're called Big Sauce.
Yes, you don't call me Big Sauce on this show. That's an NLO thing. They watch content that clowns on you, dog. You're never going back to radio.
But can I explain the most important part of this?
Right.
Tukey was not mentioned. Fuck
Right.
Tukey. This
so.
fucking asshole never helps us on the
you,
show.
Tukey.
It's supposed to be the 4 of us. And there's
Tukey.
Tukey doing nothing as usual.
And look, Paul, if this trial goes ahead, you have us on your show in the morning. Like we're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
be
all
there.
be in-person guests.
And then you went back and forth with this guy, and this guy's like, if you guys ever come to St. Cloud, let's get together.
There's a second email. Do you want to see?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I
You
love
want to
this guy.
see all the shit clown. He wants to hang out.
I love it.
All right. So this email is it's the whole email shows up. I can't scroll, but
Oh, this is a positive news. I'm in the media. Moody, feel free to use this email, but please omit the tax reference as it's not a hard quote. Yeah, we know that. I don't need to be anonymous. It should be clear that Aaron and I don't deserve that I don't desire to have any personal or professional contact with him. The worst, by the way, he sent screenshots of Aaron like, hey, we should work together.
Yes.
He doesn't answer. He doesn't answer
So
you.
he blocked him on his phone. So then Aaron tried to like message him through Facebook or something. He
And
keeps trying.
and he just doesn't answer. It's Aaron like, should we work? Should we talk about Steel Toes return to radio? Ghosted. Nothing. They want, and this was 2023. This was before any legal troubles or divorce or any of that stuff. They don't want anything to do with you. The worst thing that can happen is that he talks about me on his show. Personally, I don't waste my on-air time in the morning talking about him or the case or attention he seeks, a form of legitimacy. If you want a local comparison as to how some people in our area view Aaron, Google St. Cloud Superman. Many people that I've spoken to privately liken Aaron to Superman, just out for attention at any cost. If you do get up here, blank is my cell phone number. I also have WhatsApp. If you were open to it when you come in May, I'd be happy on the offer to take you out to a meal and learning more about New Zealand. Not the Clearwater Travel Plaza or pasta buckets, but they are pretty good.
he knows so much.
I love
He
it.
knows it all.
I love
Again,
it.
this is like NLO stuff. This isn't even like this. Little
This actually
Piggy stuff.
proves Aaron's point that he said no one is a Patrick Melton fan. They're all just watching Patrick because they hate me. And it's like, well, yeah, this is actually evidence that's true.
Or is it just gaining me fans? I don't know. Maybe they're maybe we're bonding over the hate.
Right.
So this Joseph, next to St. Cloud, has New York Times featured restaurants and bakeries. It's a can't miss town for some culinary options to stop at if you come. Regards, Paul Shea.
Yeah, but where do we get the Coke from? Oh, maybe we shouldn't ask on the
So
show.
St. Cloud Superman is this like mentally ill guy who wears a Superman vest, hangs out in St. Cloud, is racist, and yells things out. At
Oh, so it
people
is
as they
Aaron
go
Ebolt.
by. Funny you should say that, because in 9 years ago, Aaron
You
still
have
got
it?
this.
Do you have it?
I don't have it. No.
Okay,
do
I'll
you?
pull it up. Hold on. Yeah,
Right,
hold on. Just give me 1 second.
So 9 years ago, on his show, Aaron took umbrage with St. Cloud Superman.
Made fun of him.
He made fun of him.
He actually went out and did St. Cloud Batman, right?
As a character.
Yes.
He stood across the road from St. Cloud Superman as St. Cloud Batman to goof on the racist St. Cloud Superman.
Good bet.
Right. And then because he's a grifter. He's a constant grifter. Aaron set up a GoFundMe to collect money for veterans. And it says, F Superman, this is the St. Cloud Superman, let's help veterans. And he raised $2,222. Screw it. I didn't realize how much listeners would respond to the GoFundMe account of the hate for Superman. Let's see how they respond out of love for our true superheroes. I'm calling an audible. Our veterans have not gotten the treatment. This is misspelled. Our veterans have gotten the treatment and assistance in a swift manner as they deserve. So whatever small part we can do, let's do it. Let's see what we can do. Every dime we raise will be donated to the Disabled American Veterans of Minnesota. Now, multiple people have in the NLO Discord. I've seen the emails, so I can verify this. Have contacted this Disabled Veterans of Minnesota. He never donated this money. $2,222. It's not been given under the name of Steel Toe. It's not been given under the name of April M. Holt, Aaron M. Holt, none of it. He kept this $2,000 that he raised for veterans. And again, all this clowning on this Superman guy, and this is what the guy Paul Shea said. This is how people view Aaron. Just a clown around town trying to get people. Look at me, shiny object. Look over here, drama.
It is quite similar. Have you seen a video of St. Cloud Superman?
Yes.
How is that not illegal? There's a guy we cover on Who Are These Socials, Woke Dad, who also starts GoFundMe's all the time. And it's just like, hey guys, you give me money, I'll donate it to charity. It's like, why don't I just donate the money? Like, why would you start a GoFundMe to say, give me this money and I'll give it to this specific charity, rather than just be like, hey guys, give money to this specific charity?
And veterans. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of people. Chad stole credit cards from an old man who was a vet. Like, like there's this thing going where it's like, like some things, stealing a credit card, bad.
That's gross, man.
Stealing money from veterans, very bad.
That's gross.
Like, very
So,
bad.
Here's a quick video, an interview with St. Cloud Superman from 14 years ago. He's still doing this. So this is him in his prime. Okay, before he talks.
I want to see his show more than I want to see Aaron's already.
So it's a man wearing a sleeveless Superman shirt, holding a rubber chicken.
It's collarless too.
Yeah,
right.
It's seen better days.
He does look built like a Superman, though. Like, like the big shoulders. I mean, like big traps. It's
stop being so horny over there.
I think the word you're looking for is fat.
Right. Okay.
Shortly after 9/11, that was one of the big motivational things. I guess you do it want something.
Yeah, look at him. Look how built he is.
Sorry.
He's like T.O. Hanks.
I was looking.
I was
at
going to say Patrick Melton, but okay.
I was looking at him from the shoulders up. Like the situation changes once you get to the shoulders. But he's standing in front of some, I don't know, like some drinks or some bar, and he's waving his chicken around and yelling at these people.
Long enough, you get well known, and I've got the kahunas to stand out here and do what I do. A lot of people wouldn't have that confidence, and I do.
So he
Did
thinks
you not pull up the video of Aaron and doing the Batman?
Oh yeah, I can pull that up too. But like this is him. Like the reason that
how people in Minnesota view Aaron is this guy.
Yes.
He's a rubber chicken on the side of the road. Type of guy. Pull it up, Jesus. This.
Yeah. I'm pulling it up. There we go.
Benton County Batman is here on my street corner, battling evil with my friend. My friend here made a sign. It says, do we got that?
All right. He said my friend here made a sign, but we would know that handwriting anywhere.
You want to do that one over again? Holy shit!
I don't know.
You missed the I in Virgin
because like the block lettering would be an improvement. I don't know if this is Aaron. The LB is kind of a giveaway because it looks like L6.
Yeah, there's numbers involved in this.
Cool sticks.
100-pound virgin. That's what Superman is, and that's what we're out here fighting against. Look at that fat piece of garbage. Where is he? Look at that.
Yeah, where is
Actually, he looks a lot smaller when you're that far away. But
Hold on, did Batman have abs painted onto his suit?
Yes.
Yeah, he had a zip that went through his logo too.
Scale is actually about 730 pounds. I believe he ate 17 racks of ribs back in 1989, and they never properly digested.
Good stuff.
Anyway, join me in my fight.
This is while he's on the radio. So the fact that Paul Shea is saying most people in town view him as just a clown on the corner trying to get attention.
Yep.
He was doing this when he was on the radio. This is when he had a real audience.
I'm starting to think he's not very talented.
Yes, yes.
For justice and against racism and that fat idiot.
So, again, for justice against racism.
Great bit. It's a solid bit, man. Like, people probably knew exactly what he was doing out there and were like, this is funny. This is funny. That's why we support Steel Tech. So just an amazing SWAT down. It's like Aaron served up this volleyball. Like, oh, we're spiking it on the haters. We got a positive article.
Yep.
Me and Paul, maybe we should talk, get something popping. No one wants to work with you, Aaron. Nobody. And it's like airlines or any other competitive business. Like, they may be competitors, Leighton Broadcasting, Town Square Media. If you think they don't know each other and talk, if you think there's not industry talk,
there's employees that have worked at both places. That's how these things happen. It's like you have staff that used to work there.
Oh, they staff used to talk to people who were on Howard's staff.
Yep,
They would get all this behind the scenes back channel information. This is the sentiment.
Yes.
No one, and I've been saying it since the beginning, this guy thinks he's going back to radio.
Aaron, you got to stop talking about radio. Like, I keep bringing up Netflix, and if the Netflix thing doesn't happen, it's going to be really embarrassing. You got to stop talking about radio because you might not get back on radio. Then we're all going to point to all these times we talked about you getting back on radio, and we're going to clown you for it.
He's in between. He's in between. He's in between a rock and a hard place because the move here is to move to a smaller market or a different market.
Smaller?
Right.
There's 100.
There's about 70 markets that are smaller than this. So
Jesus
he
Christ.
could. But like, you need to move out from St. Cloud, but he can't because his kids are there. And so he needs to be around. He's trapped where he is. I've got one more.
Doug Stanhope, maybe Bisbee, Arizona. Maybe that's a hot town.
I've got one more thing to share. So this is.
I'd be curious to know how many markets that are smaller than St. Cloud have talent on the morning shows.
Right.
I'd be surprised if they even have local talent and they're not just syndicating or doing just regular music or something.
This is important to set up because I missed the date at the beginning of this. It's June 20th, 2015.
Right. So Paul said, look, I know you guys, I watch this little piggy, I watch NLO. I know what play a clip means. So I want to play my clip. So he sent me this screenshot.
Nice.
He says, this is my entire conversation history with Aaron on Facebook Messenger. Because at this point, he has Aaron blocked on his cell phone.
Heck,
Yeah. So in 2015, Paul wasn't living in St. Cloud, but he was considering a move there. And since him and Aaron
was on the radio.
Aaron was on the radio in his prime, 2015. And so he was feeling out the area, wanting to see who's hiring, what's the lowdown there. So he sent him a message, 2015. Hiring up in St. Cloud, normal message to send. Like, if you know someone in a market. Aaron gives him his feedback. Sorry,
go ahead.
But like, this is a normal conversation that you have with like an acquaintance that you have if you're reaching out and you come from the same place and you're going there.
And by the way, so Aaron says, not great gigs, sales mostly. And this is what we said about Aaron from the beginning. Aaron's never really had a true radio job. He sells ads, and that affords him the luxury of talking in between ads. It's like how women view the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Oh, is there a game on? I just watched for the ad.
Yep.
Not great gigs, sales mostly, but sending on-air stuff with it may not be a terrible idea. Lots of stuff to be sold. Wide open market, but cheap management up front. Same as it is now. That's why he's offering to work for free. If you want me to get you a meeting, I can, but don't let them lowball you. I read this as different. And then Paul says, I'll think about the move and let you know. Thanks. If I know Aaron the way I know Aaron, he's insecure and he doesn't want to, he would never help anyone. He'll throw you under the bus. I would never ask Aaron for a favor, like use Aaron's name to get hired somewhere or a job. Paul didn't know any better back then, probably. But if you want me to get you a meeting, I can't. I can imagine Aaron going to his boss and being like, there's this guy from like, he's an old friend from high school. I told him I'd do him a favor and talk to him. And then on the other side, he's telling Paul, like, don't let him lowball you. He's admitting management's cheap and there's not much money, but he's telling Paul, don't let him lowball you. He don't want Paul coming into his market and competing with him.
He is definitely what he's responding with is, dude, the jobs here suck. You don't want anything to do with it.
You don't want any of it.
If you did get hired, you'd be getting paid less than you're worth.
Right. It's that exact thing. Like you find it's fishermen. They found a sweet spot. They found a honey hole.
right. You don't want to be there. It sucks.
Dude, I'm an idiot. I stay out there all day and I can't catch nothing. You don't need to look at my
right.
GPS. Like, don't worry about it.
All right. So
and then years go by.
Over 8 years after this message, they don't talk on Messenger, but they meet at a wedding.
Yep.
And at this wedding, which Paul discussed earlier, this is around the time, September 2023, when Aaron was saying, I'm going to be back on the radio soon. I've made some good contacts, all of that. This is the message that we get from Aaron.
So are we supposed to talk about Steel Toes return to radio? Huh?
That's it.
Huh?
This is how Aaron thinks reaching out to people and like contacts in the radio is like.
Yep.
This is his network.
And he'll brag about this comment for weeks. Like, I'm talking to people.
Yep.
I'm talking to people. We're in talks. And in July of 2023, he told people he was in talks with radio, and by Labor Day that they would have a big announcement. So this shows that closer to Labor Day, he still had nothing on his hook. There was nothing going on.
So this is September 2nd at 11:37 p.m.
Yes.
That's a weird time to send this message. I'm thinking he was drinking.
Well, he's already disappointed April, probably.
Yes.
She's passed out. He's up furiously sleepjacking and Mac salad, which he squirts extra mayo on. So he's frothed up. He's got white all over his mouth. He's ready to go. But going back, someone in the chat had a perfect analogy about the, like, you don't want to move here, anything like that. It's like, there's nothing to rent in Tuscany from Seinfeld. That's exactly what that is. It's like, don't even look. There's no places in Tuscany. You can't get it. You can't find a spot.
But when he's telling his audience, I'm talking to people in the biz, this is what it is.
Yep.
Like it's not what we think of when we say I'm in talks with someone.
Yeah, you'd think like an actual meeting, a back and forth, a conversation.
I can attest the correspondences I've seen, and it's none of your business how.
The message to send here, if we're going to do a retrospective learning lessons for Aaron, the message to send here, hey, Paul, was great to see you at the wedding. We haven't caught up in a long time. Do you want to catch up for lunch sometime next week?
Right.
Would love to meet you and see what we've been up to over the last few years. And then there you feel it out and you see whether or not he's open to talking about this. You don't cold call someone like this.
Well, again, the messages that I've seen too have this same desperate cut to the chase energy, no small talk, where he's just like here's what Steel Toe can do for you. You need Steel Toe at your station, or like, could you please bring Steel Toe to your station? Like, what about Steel Toe on your station?
Always
like,
be closing.
Right.
Patrick, what don't you understand about this? He gets right to the close. Like, all right, so when can Steel Toe start on your station? You're like, I'm the receptionist. I don't know. I can't help you with that.
New request. Whenever you go onto Steel Toe Morning Show and you're watching that, copy and paste this message. So are we supposed to talk about Steel Toes Return to Radio? Just put that in the chat.
Did we just come up with the best idea for a show ever, Paul?
99 cents. So we're supposed to talk about Steel Toes Return to Radio. Okay, just need 340 more of those.
So and again, not to pop your balloon, Aaron, but this positive article, everyone in that building is clowning you. 6 stations wide,
Yes,
and
they're watching this show.
I'd be willing to bet that other places that you've worked and buildings that you've worked in with adjacent stations are also doing the same thing. Because again, this is a small community. There's not many companies doing it. Everybody kind of knows each other. You see this, like, oh, I went to high school with like one of my best friends is his best friends, and we're all, and I know that, like, so in the industry, I imagine it's even tighter. They hate you. You're never going back to radio.
Picture this right now, Patrick. It's the end of the work week. We're Friday. It's 5:12 right now in St. Cloud, Minnesota. And it's like, guys, happy hour time. Let's go out. Let's get a few pops. And there are people gathered around a cubicle watching this little piggy right now. They're just like, yeah. When the show ends, we'll go out. They're going live. That's fine. When they're done.
Projector in the conference room.
They're in a meeting room.
They've wheeled in a cooler. They're having a mimosa bar.
Take a selfie and send it to us.
Yes, please do.
So, shout out to Paul Shea. Thank you for letting us.
Thanks, Paul.
Carol in accounting. I want to say hi to Brett in sales.
Conversation with Paul were really nice. Genuinely seems like a nice guy. Would love to see you in Minnesota if the trial goes ahead. You're welcome.
We'll be there.
We'll buy you a beer, sir.
For sure.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Let's go to Tukey.
Whoa! Oh.
No one wants to see this.
Just where did he go? Like, what happened? We hope everything's okay.
World Order.
You can drag and drop. You can drag and drop the cameras on top of each other and they swap. Did you know that?
All right, let's not. I mean, we're at the end of the show now. It's too late for that. We're not doing StreamYard tutorials.
Like, what is he doing?
We're not doing StreamYard tutorials.
Moody,
now.
There's some things everyone hates about you. That's all.
Okay. All right.
Beloved chatter, did Tukey decide he also can't associate with Nick?
Yes, that's why he quit the show. Quit his own show just now.
Failing on HackaMania now. Jeez.
Everyone go to goldfolds.com and you'll see Patrick's gonads.
Actually, so goldfold.com is Goldfold's website.
And he keeps saying gold folds.
Yeah. So someone bought goldfolds.com and has put up a picture of Patrick's nuts.
Cool.
So you can actually see my balls at goldfolds.com.
Cool story.
Cease and desist. MH3, we all know you're going, Carl. Don't make me check your browser history later. MH370 goes to Mr. P. I was actually with Aaron's mom and she detests him. He's into dudes, loves goo. Chad's mom, love eggplant. Most of the stuff you write doesn't make sense. You know that, right, Mr. P?
It's proofread, people.
I still say Moody puts together a haka to put all Black and Hana to shame, and we do it in the courtroom. OJ can drive any DMF he wants. Kamatai, ora, ka, ora.
It's like Tukey's here.
Worst pronounced kamate I've ever heard.
Imagine just breaking out in a haka in the middle of the courtroom. Like, what's going on here?
I'm okay. I don't need to wind up on stuff.co.nz.
Diablo sandwich. Aaron is Clark Cunt.
That's funny. I like that.
These emails are remarkable. I wish I could have been there.
This is the greatest show.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll have to, Moody, after this, you'll have to post those in Steel Toe Boring Show Reddit for all to
I'll post them in there. You put them up on your, I'm pretty sure Pretty Antisocial will have them up on their, on their Twitter.
These are fantastic. Goes to Mr. P. Nick, would you say up fight Aaron like in a yard? Winner gets April and your wife and DV. First of all,
do you want Nick's number? I just give it to you. You just text Nick this shit. You have to put it on our show.
No. It's important that Tukey get money for this show.
All right,
he really deserves it.
I am the Knight. I am Batman. And most importantly, I want you to come in my mouth.
If anything, he's like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Gay man. Ah.
Oh, Paul, you rascal. Great joke, bro. You're the heel now. My audience knows you just said this stuff to get Moody to leave you alone. We'll be laughing later. Can't wait to laugh with you, Paul.
Yeah,
that'll be the go.
And Doggy can come to Minnesota anytime.
Me and Paul were laughing about how we played everybody over there at this little Piggy. By the way, we had 300 watching this morning, so pretty good.
Yo, the toilet destroying Pocky was right. Tookie is just a guest. Disgraceful.
Yeah, it really is disappointing how Tukey let us all down today.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
If I wasn't an admin on his channel, we wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have no show today. Anything else you guys want to discuss today?
I'm just going to throw out two things quickly. I wanted to discuss it, but we've run long. The So Thorough Joe Burrow video he made earlier this week about Gordy shitting by the door. And he found clips of Gordy pissing on Aaron's bed and shitting underneath his console while he was doing his show. It just proves that Gordy hates Aaron.
I actually got a little upset because he was talking about his St. Patrick's Day drinking binge where he went to a friend's house and they went out bar hopping and stayed out too long, drinking too much, and then went to another friend's house. So many friends this guy has. Went to another friend's house, and then he left his keys. So when he got back to his car, he couldn't drive drunk, which he really wanted to do. So he ended up spending the night on the couch and texting SP that he wants to have a baby with her. And the next day, he drove back and got back to his house in the afternoon. Well, he had said he left his house at, they went out drinking at 2 p.m. So I imagine he left his house a little earlier the day before on Saturday and then didn't get home till afternoon Sunday. This dog is locked in a house for 24 hours. Like,
and he even said
walking the dog on its birthday. It's like, this is animal abuse, man. Like,
he even said Gordy shit by the door because Gordy wanted to go out.
Yeah.
And do you remember when he said about his shit too? He goes, we were doing the what they were making pork, smoking pork or something, and so out of the smoker was the fat was dripping out.
Yeah, and
Gordy was
just lick up the pan.
Yeah, just chowing this, which is crazy.
Two things. One, a dog probably shouldn't just have that much liquid fat dripping out of your fucking pan. Literally on these smokers, there's a drain pan that goes to like a bucket or some sort of container that
it should just land on. It should just land on the patio.
But also, all the rub that you put on meat is coming off as well into this sodium and stuff. This isn't for dogs. You can't let a dog, like I actually, every time I smoke something, I cut off a piece of it, whether it's brisket or pork or whatever it is. And I smoke a piece for my dog because my dog likes meat. It's probably not the best thing for a dog, but just a little piece. Every once in a while,
it's totally fine. Dogs are supposed to live off scraps. That's why they became pets.
But I don't put rub on it. I don't marinate it.
Right.
You don't brine it. You don't give a dog something that you fix for humans. Like, it's not healthy. You wonder why it shits everywhere.
I saw you carve off like 2 bigger chunks from the pulled pork.
Yeah,
before you made it pulled pork.
And my dog's still eating it. I don't give it all to him in one day. That'd be insane to do. Like,
so Gordy took some like really gross, greasy shit by the door that Aaron had to clean up because, like you said, he was absent, not taking care of his dog for a day and a half.
It's so sad. Gordy is April's dog, but Aaron sees it as a trophy. That's
right. He won. He won the dog because April's a coke addict
by
so she can't
using his kids. So he said the kids don't want Gordy to.
But the kids,
and then the other thing,
live there to take care of the dog. This is a nuisance and a burden for Aaron, as proved. Again, it's not sad. It's not a joke or anything. Like, it's actually depressing to think about this poor dog. It's home all the time alone. I would be willing to bet it wants attention so badly.
Yep.
It wants to be loved so badly. And he leaves it alone for over 24 hours. It's pure animal abuse. It's not funny.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to touch on, I'll just bring it up real quick because it's going to get old. This Tom Myers feud he has, where it's just two people so retarded they're completely unable to clown each other. They're so stupid. It's like the South Park episode where there was a cripple fight and Eric Cartman loses his mind that these two cripples are fighting each other. So
in case you missed it, here we go. I decided to send
Hold
it.
on. Sorry, I was queuing it up in case you want to watch it.
Oh, we don't need to, but it was so funny because Aaron was watching. So someone sent Aaron Tom doing his bong hit transplant joke, and Aaron had obviously watched it ahead of time. So he's watching this up. And he goes, "Oh no, is he gonna say that this is bong smoke?" Like he got the punchline wrong, but he was trying to pretend he was predicting the punchline. Oh no, he's gonna do this. Oh my god, guys, he's gonna do this thing where it's like bong smoke, and then he plays it, and it's like a bong hit transplant. He's like, "Oh god, that's so hack. Oh my god!" And then the next show, he repeated that he did that on the show previously. He was so proud of himself. He's like,
Yeah.
"Did you guys hear me making fun of Tom Myers? You guys hear me totally win that conversation and how funny I was?"
I noticed that pattern on his Sunday members only shows are literally a dry run for the opening of Monday's
Yes.
show. He literally repeat dryer delivery, Gordy's birthday. Like he has such disrespect for his members that he doesn't give them original content. He'll throw them 30 minutes of, "I'm going to do this on tomorrow's show. You guys excited about tomorrow's show?" It's like, it's one of the saddest efforts that I've ever seen by a guy who considers himself a pro broadcaster.
Speaking of
much less a
sad.
podcaster.
Speaking of sad, so I'm watching Aaron try to make fun of Tom. Something that's been done. Listen, I also do it. It's fun. I get it. And then Tom is on his show. He was on again this morning playing clips of Aaron making fun of him. And then the super chat that Tom sent on Monday, Tom had to play again because he's so proud of himself for sending a nonsensical super chat that Aaron read. And Tom thinks he's in the mix and he's got MLC, he's got his back, and Chad
This is what
Zumba.
Kevin does to people. This is what Kevin, like,
Yes.
dude, all you got to do is get StreamYard, get the free version though. So there's a logo. And
This is like when Joe Rogan was podcasting years ago, and every guest he'd be like, "You should start a podcast, man. It's fucking great. Start a podcast." This is what, and Kevin Burns not telling people to do this, but they watch him and they go, "Oh, all you have to do is read the chat, and you make hundreds of dollars a day." Yeah, I'll do that. And this fucking
then
idiot,
we got Brendan Schaub.
this idiot Tom, yeah, right, from Joe Rogan. But this idiot Tom Myers is just the latest to just be like, just trying to get my watch hours up so I can start making super chats.
We watched it on NLO. He does a thing where he's like, he'll play 2 seconds of Aaron going like, "I don't even know you, man," and then he pauses and he goes, "Oh, you're gonna know me."
Oh, I
It's like,
got
we
it.
don't-
So
we don't have a
douchey.
back and forth, and he pauses. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna have a back and forth."
It's all Chad. It's all Chad.
Zuma.
It's what
There's
Chad does.
Nothing there. There's no insight. There's nothing funny. Like,
Right.
God forbid you mash those two together and get funny insight. Like, there's
so bad.
And he's
nothing.
so late to the game. Like he's pointing
Yeah.
out Aaron is lying.
Like Aaron will go no, and he'll pause and go yeah. And then
Right.
that's like,
On the show, I think it was Wednesday. Aaron goes, "Oh, so you're trying to be another A-logger, blah, blah, blah." And Tom goes, "What is he making up words now? What the fuck's he even talking about?" Like, he's so out of it. Tom Myers, he has no idea. I don't know whose side to take in this feud. It's retarded.
We don't need another StreamYard show centered around Aaron. Like that market is saturated. There's plenty to explore.
Old boot goofing is a new addition. I'm sorry.
But like, yeah, do something new. Don't discuss new Aaron M. Holt stuff. Like there's too much. Like, offer a new perspective.
Speaking of too much, we got a couple more here.
I played myself. I'm a fool. I'm a fool in a man's shoes.
I'm a fool in a man's boots, steel toe boots. Queever Stuther, I was going to make this comparison too. The gold folds of Mr. P don't write good too. He's like gold folds that's a fan is what Mr. P is like. He makes about as much sense. Carl, where can people see you coming up?
Well, I'm excited that you asked me that because, of course, I do a show called Who Are These Podcasts? And tomorrow we're recording a new episode. It's behind our paywall. If you go to patreon.com/Who Are These Podcasts, you can watch it live or anytime thereafter. We have the great Anthony Cumia coming on with one Adam Bush. The first time those two guys will be coming together. And we'll be checking out, among other things, Dylan Mulvaney. Just posted
What's they up to now?
Her first podcast. So we'll be checking out Dylan Time or whatever that's called, Dylan Mulvaney's show.
Man.
And we'll be checking out Opie and Kevin Brennan and all sorts of things.
Like, way to miss your fucking 15 minutes.
I know.
And
Dylan even came out. Dylan Mulvaney came out and was just like, "We've been talking about this for 2 years." I'm like, yeah, obviously, because you're not a thing anymore.
Yeah, Bud Light changed their mind.
Right? Yeah. Do you think of this as big a show as Shane Gillis? Like, what are you doing?
And Dabble House, HackaMania.
That's right. We will be doing. I'm very excited about this. I'm traveling down to Florida next month to be part of Dabble House. Dabblecon.live is where you want to go to get the pay-per-view, because we'll be listening to season 2 of the Kate Meany tapes. Stuttering John had all of his phone calls with Kate Meany recorded where he falls in love with Kate Meany, and Shuli has all of them. And
By the
we'll
way,
be checking that out.
I'm glad Kate Meany found her niche. Like, don't be public at all. Do stuff behind the scenes and then let us know the report. Like, don't
it's
come
perfect.
on any shows.
It is perfect.
Moody, thank you for being here. You knocked it out of the park this week. Thank you so much for taking the initiative to refuse to touch grass for another week, stay inside, and just be obsessed with the internet, and reach out to Paul Shea. Paul Shea and everybody over there at Town Square Media, thank you very much. You overshared. And
love you, Paul.
It was fantastic. And Aaron, I was thinking we got to move this show to Mondays so that Aaron doesn't have time to like have a whole weekend to game with Slam Piece about the spin from everything we reveal on this show. Maybe we need to move it to earlier
But this
in
way,
the week.
he doesn't get a weekend.
Yeah,
Like, that's
you're right.
gone.
You're right. It's all strategy sessions from here on out, I think.
He's booking a conference room at the library.
That's it for this little piggy. We'll be back on Carl's channel next week. We'll never make the mistake of allowing Tukey to do this again. We've learned our lesson.
Tukey might be dead to me. I don't know. This is crazy.
If I see that puppet at HackaMania, I'm gonna stomp him.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.